What the fuck? Mm,
You broke it.
man, I must have. I must
You
have been
clearly
like,
listen. The common denominator is you.
bro. It has to be. I broke something in the core of reality.
Something.
Yeah, whatever my simulation was supposed to be programmed to be, um,
Mm.
I broke it.
Uh-huh.
I probably did it around 5 too. I was like 5. That shit started going haywire around 5 years old. Like shit just did not go. I'm pretty sure that that the goals and the rules that was first established when they hooked me up to this thing
Mm.
are all haywire now.
I mean,
It's all broken.
do better.
What up, Biddy? What up,
Hey,
Random? Hey, McKenna.
what up? What up?
McKenna
What
has
up? What up? What up?
survived
What up?
the fierce radioactive storms that took
Yeah.
place in Florida.
And I'm just gonna say it's very, very weird that a certain person marked himself as safe from this particular thing that's happening on the
I
opposite
mean,
the opposite
technically,
pole.
we could
No,
have marked
nigga,
ourselves
it
safe.
happened on the opposite pole of the country. Like what? What are you?
Mhm.
Whatever.
I mean, we're safe though.
We're assuming. We're assuming. We only got a few showers here. McKenna said, "Good."
Oh wow, damn, damn.
But like, why would you do that? Like, I don't.
I
There's no Whatever. I don't.
don't, I don't,
I've had it up to.
I don't think we still
Yeah.
know. I don't. It's above me now, but but maybe he was there. I don't know.
I don't fucking. I don't believe you.
It's possible that he was sitting there in Miami and damn. Oh shit. All right.
Stupid.
I need to move that. That is dope.
You broke it
Nah, this is the only thing that didn't break and shit.
again.
Fucker. Shit sucked, man. 100% suckage.
I mean, not 100%.
I mean, it listen, until I'm where I want to be, it sucked. This shit bites. The big
Yo,
one.
Jimmy Buffett died.
What? No
76.
way.
76.
How old was he?
76.
He was young.
Relatively. I
I
mean,
mean, comparatively,
yeah.
look what we be seeing. You know what I'm saying?
Bob Barker made it in 99.
Yeah, right. Fucking Stan Lee made it, what, 92, 91, something
Uh-huh.
like that?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Dang.
I think that's a real for modern medicine and
Absolutely. Eating
everything
shit too
that
much.
we think that when we hear 76, we think, yeah, 76? That's kind of young.
Right.
Because think about it, 100, 200 years ago,
30.
right? Right. It would have if somebody would have lived to 76,
Then they
niggas were
killed
like,
him.
yeah,
No, they
like, yo,
killed
you're
him.
a witch. You're a witch. You're a witch.
Yo. Oh, God. I'm bugging. I don't even have my lights on. I just have.
Oh yeah, I
Listen,
can tell you got this shine on your face, like
it
you
was
like
very.
your face was powdered or some shit.
It was very. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Adjust. Adjust.
Yeah, let me
I
get it.
gotta. Fuck. I gotta.
So the
Oh,
cooling
God. I'm
effect
still
for
doing
certain. So it's only 95 and extremely humid. Jeez, McKenna. Jeez. What's up, Stella? This is that's a lot. That's a lot. But I guess if you're already acclimated, you know, damn, it's funny that it's you said it's 95 degrees and extremely humid, and then the name of this episode is the new hotness. That's actually kind of funny.
Oh, that's so stupid.
He broke it.
Nah.
Yeah,
Morning, Stellar. I didn't break it. It's just stuck. Actually, I can fix this.
Hmm.
There we go. That's better.
Is it though?
Shut up. All right. All right. You shut up. All right. God damn it, Sam.
We might as well get this. Wow, this is weird.
What did you do?
I'm just looking at some a notification I got. Hmm. It says, mm, 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 mm. I want access. You can see me fine, right? Everything's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what the fuck this thing is talking about, but it says your browser has blocked your screen. Click screen icon and your ad is about
I
to.
see you.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't done anything. I don't know what it's talking about. So,
I see you.
all right, let's get this intro on the way and let the pain begin. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ,
You.
and I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, I'm sure we have another rousing episode, and it's so funny. If you pay close attention to your screen, you'll notice that there's a brand new graphic there surrounding both of us, put together by the illustrious SPJ.
I mean, listen. I
I
told
mean,
y'all the changes were coming, and they are starting with this episode.
they are beginning.
Yeah.
They are beginning, and that's always a good thing. I am certain that we have things that we're going to talk about today, but before we get started, we got to go into our week. Now, on last week's episode,
Mm.
SBJ and Chrissy took a trip to Myrtle Beach, and I'm sure he has a shit ton of things to discuss in that.
Oh,
Me,
shit, son.
oh, well, a few things.
Mhm.
And you went to work this week, so
I did.
I'm sure there's some things there. So I'll start mine by saying that I at 4 minutes after 11 a.m. on the East Coast, am very annoyed
Well, I mean, that's
right
not when it
now.
started.
No, well, this is the time they see me, the current continuity, because I'm still annoyed, very, very annoyed. So, as most of you know, there is no AC in here, man. There is no AC in here.
Correct.
And as a result of that, we've had to attempt to mitigate those issues the best way we can by the uses of fans and other cooling devices, all with the exception of one, I would say, leave a lot to be desired. We do have one down here in the studio area as well. Actually, two. They do what they can, but depending on the situation, it ain't enough, right? The fan that thankfully you guys can't hear, that's blowing right here in front of me. And there's another cooling device that's on the floor, bigger, that sits there. Now, the way this cooling device works is you take water and you pour it in a little basin at the bottom. And then this thing comes with 2 ice packs that you can constantly refreeze. What?
Young L?
Your ass.
You said
No.
You said,
No.
oh,
Absolutely not.
I bet.
What did Big K call him last night? AIDS verb. Listen. Listen. But it comes with 2 ice packs that you can freeze, and you don't use both of them at the same time. So you keep one in the freezer that's to freeze up, while you have the other one in there, and then when certain time the machine will make a little couple of beeping noises that you know, hey, water's running low, and this thing right here is no longer frozen, it's no longer cold. You might want to replace the water and replace this, and you go right in there and you do that. Now, this takes hours for that to happen. I'm talking, it could go through the entire night and part of the morning, right, before that happens. And as a result, it wasn't a big pain in the ass because I always had another ice pack slide in there. Relatively simple, hit the button, and we're rocking and rolling again. Again, it's not a suitable replacement for any sort of AC. You know, it doesn't have the strength, the power of the Iceman, of the Jotuns.
Bobby Drake.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have that power, but it can kind of make things livable to a certain degree, as long as you ain't around here doing exercises and doing a bunch of physical work.
Bobby Drake, not Omega.
Yeah, not Omega level Bobby.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's early where he looked like a snowman and shit.
Yeah.
That guy.
We don't like that guy.
No, we don't. What's up, Cindy? So this morning, I realized, damn, that shit been going for a good minute, and I ain't hear no beeps. So let me check on this shit, because I don't want to have to hear these beeps in the middle of the show and then get up and do all that shit. I looked, and sure enough, it hadn't reached that line yet, but it was close, and the pack that's in there wasn't really cold. I said, I might as well replace this now. This shit will be go on at least until this evening. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to worry about no damn beeps. I pull it out, phrasing, and I grab the ice pack and proceed to make my way over to the freezer to acquire the other one that should be nice and cold.
Should be.
Except for when I open the freezer up, it's not there.
Huh. Who broke it?
There would literally be no purpose for anyone else to move that, to remove it, or to use it.
They bought another machine just like that, and it didn't.
No, they come with it.
No, but this one didn't come.
Yes, it did. Absolutely.
No.
I know every cooling device in this house, the one in my daughter's room, the two that's upstairs, the one in Malik's room, the two that's down here. No. Excuse me, the three that's down here. No.
Okay.
And I was irritated because you see, you're messing up the whole routine by removing something that you had no reason to remove. There's no reason for you to do that. It's not there. I proceeded to remove the food out of the freezer. See, maybe it slipped down into some other. No. It is gone.
So Sue Storm got a hold of it.
Apparently, because it's invisible as a motherfucker, right? And apparently intangible too, because at least with Sue Storm's power, it might be invisible, but you can feel it. That shit ain't even there.
Yo.
What this forced me to do is to go into the second kitchen we have and use the water machine that also makes the ice and scoop out an enormous amount of ice and put it in the water in there.
Probably so.
Probably not. For you see, I am fairly certain that ice is not going to last anywhere near.
As long as the ice pack,
yeah. So the other thing is with the ice pack.
We're going to have some beeping.
Yeah, and also we're talking water displacement. So
shit, right.
Yeah. So but as it goes down, it theoretically should be fine. I just don't think I'm gonna get the amount of time, right, that I'm used to getting with that, and I'm annoyed. And this is an annoyance that is these are stacked buffs, right? Because I'm already annoyed at the situation in general. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm annoyed at the fact that every year this happens since we've been here. I'm annoyed at the fact that the part that would alleviate this, we won't see that for another 2 weeks.
Correct.
I'm also irritated that just because it comes in them 2 weeks doesn't mean it's going to get fixed.
Correct.
As soon as it comes in, because I know how this landlord operates.
That's your man's, yeah.
No.
No. My bad. I'm new here. My bad.
This is annoying to the point where he probably shouldn't come over here to collect rent.
Wait, that's what I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
See, here's my confusion. Why aren't you guys living rent free right now?
Oh, see, that's part of it. See, all this is going to be comped.
Okay.
All of it. But it's just the principle, right? The principle.
Oh, absolutely. No. Still be mad, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and if I was 30 years younger, I might risk the jail time.
Well, no shit.
Punching him in his fucking face. Right? I might. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, me probably would have. Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't have went in it with the intentions of hitting him in his face, but I would have pushed it to the. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I would push it.
I mean, I can't prove intent.
I would have moved the situation in the direction that would have led to that. Just the disrespect, the amount of disrespect, and racial animus. So, like, yeah, that possibly could have happened. The other thing that I am quite irritated about, and fortunately this time I'm not irritated with anybody else other than myself.
Hey, okay.
All right. So
that's progress.
That's right. So because my memory is Garbino,
right?
And I get it honestly because I get it from my mama. My mama was that way when I was a little kid. She was young. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it honestly, but it doesn't help that I've had that, and then I have the 54 years of age thing going on top of that. It doesn't help. A lot of times I will put shit down.
Compound interest.
It's compound interest. I'll put shit down, and 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, I realize.
Yo.
I see my sister in there. You know it's true. You know it's true. You know it's true. I will put stuff down with every intention of yes. And they could be light, they could be heavy, it doesn't matter. They could be small and easily hidden, or they could be large and obtrusive. I'll put it down with intentions on picking it up again. All right. And then I won't remember where I put it at. So this week, the chains are being moved forward to get to the point of fulfillment, right? For the Kickstarter. However, there's still business you have to do in between that, still selling books, right? From the old line, right? So these things have to be shipped out. I have an international sale we got from the UK. I said, okay, cool. It's a certain way you got to deal with that sort of thing, right? You need like 3 little pieces. The label, and then another copy of the label inside, and then another label inside. It's the whole thing. I purchased these little label pouches.
That was your first
Slide them in there, put it on there, and that way they see it. Everything should be gravy. I know I put that down there.
Did you?
I know it because I used it maybe a month or so ago. I've looked. This place has flipped over 2 or 3 times since then, right? Packages come in, go out, things get moved, things move. You know what I'm saying? All this shit. I don't know where the fuck that is now. And I'm furious because I really wanted to send this package out. So currently, just as a visual aid, I have the package right here. Raring to go. But I don't have the label pouches, which means I had to go and purchase some more. Now, they should be here tomorrow. Think it to yourself, well, that's okay, no harm, no foul. Except, I know how these things work with me. The very moment I open the package and get the pouches out, I'll turn around to go back to the shipping table.
That's very funny.
And that old pack of patches is still gonna be right there. I know it.
I'm so glad you, because I wasn't going to talk about what I'm about to talk about, and then you gave me that story.
I gave you an
sorry, Chrissy.
Yeah, that's what up, Lost? I'm just annoyed because I know that's what's gonna happen. Now, here's some good news. The posters came in this week. They look great, which means I got a chance to save money because this was a relatively cheap place to get them and got good quality for them, right? Found the type of packaging that I'm going to be using that everything can fit in. So, it's not like it was last time with the posters we had. The poster was too large. We had these movie-sized posters. They were way too large. And you had to put them in these cylinders and ship them that way. And them cylinders are a few inches too long for you to get a nice, cheap rate. Right? So I had to deal with that. It was a pain in the ass. Shouldn't have to deal with that this time. And we are handling the shipping, the fulfillment a little different this year in a way that makes it a lot easier on us. And I feel like the people as well. We're going to do it through our website. So everybody that's supported will get a discount code your particular package will be up there. And all you have to do is put the code in, pay your shipping. So you got to pay your shipping. And bam, we get your address. It's in a much more organized fashion. Let me tell you, because I absolutely 100% hated scanning a spreadsheet with 150 names and addresses and these peepers don't like that. Don't like it. It's horrible. This is a lot easier this way. And there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, but I don't know if that's going to be a topic on the show. So, Oprah.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
And Dwayne. As you guys know, down in Maui, they're having like really bad issues with the weather, thanks to climate change and a couple other things too. Infrastructure, I believe, is part of that. When alarms don't go off when they're supposed to, and it doesn't appear, at least right now, to have been any sort of contingency plan in effect for any of that. So they're having issues. Of course, Biden went down there, promised some money. I'm sure some money has already started to trickle down there at some point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they could always use more because there's a lot of damage. And that's a lot of people displaced. And they're your fellow citizens. So you should want to see them not be in that state. Unless you don't like them, and then that's something else. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just a human's human, right? However, there are certain citizens in this country that can give tons of money and it not bother them in the least. They'll stay still someplace where that money will get replenished You know what I'm saying? Like, enter Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So they did a video, I think it was on Oprah's account, where they were trying to do something really nice for the people of Maui. Unfortunately, relatively nice. Unfortunately,
given the reality of the situation.
Yeah, because listen, if it had been anybody but them,
but her,
her, this motherfucker worth $300 million too.
It's not just the amount of money that they're worth. It is the fact that Oprah is directly responsible. Thank you, Stella. Directly responsible for displacing Hawaiians.
Ah, see that part I was not aware about. That's compound interest. That's compound interest.
If it had been just two rich motherfuckers, it would have just been a little tone deaf.
Very, very much so. Because that's the angle I was going to go with.
But because it's Oprah, it's much worse. It's
right.
Infinitely worse.
So, Miss Winfrey, we're gonna have to have a talk. Now, you and I have not been on great terms over the years. I didn't like your, as far as I was concerned, opportunistic attacks on hip hop back in the day. Didn't like it. I also really, really, really did not like some of the people you gave shine to. Scam artists. In general, just really, really whack-ass motherfuckers who did not need any of that attention and wouldn't have got it, but not for your platform. Deepak Chopra, Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil. The list goes on, right? But this right here, especially with the added information that you own a bunch of land down there, this takes the cake. And you, Dwayne, standing next to her
yourself, sir.
From this situation is really ass. Because you see, my first initial take on it was that why are you going to the average, everyday American citizen who is struggling through inflation and having other issues besides that, when you're worth so much money, you could literally pay for 95% of it, right? And the government give 5%. I'm saying? Like, that's how much money you have, right? Why are you coming to us? Or your connections, your network to other wealthy people is so crazy that you can literally have a fundraiser, a fundraising dinner, and got that money in a single night.
Here's the thing. Dwayne has a track record. He has been known to do fundraisers in some way, shape, or form. However, on top of the fundraiser, he contributes.
He contributes money. Right.
Yes.
Biddy said she saw a video of Oprah and The Rock only receiving just over $3,000 in donations. They do have a cheek to be asking us normal folks to send funds with their money. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But it's worse.
He definitely does generally.
Yes, he does. He does.
Contribute a good amount of money on top of.
It's one of these things where you gotta be careful who you stand next to.
Oh, nigga. And
I know it sounds counterintuitive to anyone who doesn't know. They only know the A side of Oprah and not the B side of Oprah. If they understand it's Oprah, how much more safe could that be? Well, now see, there's things. There's things. There's things. People she's co-signed. That spiritual leader person that she had.
Yeah.
With the baby making operation going on and human trafficking and killing the women after 10 years of them giving baby. The fuck? Right? The tone deafness of you having a grip of land in this area. You are a neighbor, ostensibly.
Nigga.
You are a neighbor. Fix your block.
Bruh.
Fix your goddamn block.
Mm-hmm.
When I
And
went
then
to
now the question arises in my head that I didn't think of before.
hmm hmm
So, was your property damaged?
Good
And are
question.
you raising funds to help
You
offset the cost?
woo woo
Cause yeah,
woo
that don't.
woo boy.
I don't like that.
I hope that's not
I don't.
part of this.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that shit. I don't like it. It's just it's the to quote Liddy, it's the cheek,
Yeah,
the fucking cheek,
the absolute cheat.
and it's I get it that a lot of people, and this is the problem with celebrity. Um, a lot of times the problem with celebrity is the people who hold the celebrities up. There's going to be a segment of the population that's going to annoy me because I know what they're going to do. They're going to put their capes on and they're going to run down there thinking, Oprah needs up. She don't need your help.
No.
What I was pleasant, it was pleasant to see is that people was in that ass, boy.
Oh, oh yeah.
They
That
was in
video
that
I sent
ass. Woo! I saw the comments. Woo! They were in that ass. So Stella says he can hardly hear SPJ. I'm coming through loud and clear, so he doesn't want to crank the audio up. Let me ask anybody else, because it could be on Stellar's end.
I'm gonna be fair. He didn't say clear.
Excuse me. You need to mind your business and let me take that W.
Yo.
That's what you need to do.
My bad. My bad.
But yeah, man, like it stinks, it sucks, and it's one of them things where it's like you stack, it's a stack situation. It's stacking onto all of the other really negative perception that I have of celebrities in general, Oprah specifically. You own land down there. You are ostensibly a neighbor. If you are, as SPJ pointed out, possibly collecting money to offset the cost of you fixing any property of yours that got damaged, I don't know that that's what you're doing. I don't know that that's what you're doing. I'm just saying, if that's the case, that's whack. It's so fucking whack. It's so fucking whack. And Dwayne, you need to, I don't know, bro. Pick better partners. pick better partners in these altruistic endeavors, dude. Seriously. A little while ago you were talking about you were flirting around the idea of running for president. Now, I don't much have the stomach for celebrities most of the time trying to run for public office, particularly the most powerful office in the land. When you haven't served any place else in any other function in politics, it seems to me to be a very opportunistic way of adding to your resume. You go in there for 4 years and you have a bunch of advisors and other people that kind of help you through the shit, and you get to have that on your resume. However, bro, this ain't how to do it.
Resume,
right? Like this ain't the way to do it. Hey, run for governor of Florida. You got a home down there, you got property and shit down there. You're a resident down there. Run for governor of Florida.
Yeah. So quickly, Stellar asked about the Obamas owning land in Hawaii. Well, Barack, isn't he like from Hawaii?
I believe so, right?
So there's that. And then here's a list. Some celebrities with land in Hawaii include Jeff Bezos, Oprah Winfrey, Jimmy Buffett, Jensen Huang. These billionaires have land or homes in Maui, specifically. Owen Wilson owns a 5-bedroom, 5.5-bathroom home in Maui. Willie Nelson owns a home on the slopes of I am not going to even attempt to pronounce that, volcano. Steven Tyler owns a luxurious home in Maui.
Interesting.
Woody Harrelson transformed a large piece of land on the North Shore in a paradise retreat. Clint Eastwood built property near a beach in Maui. Bette Midler owns several homes in Maui. Bruno Mars was born in Oahu, so that's again that's like I'm not saying
Right.
well facts McKenna. I'm not saying to excuse Obama
Right.
or Bruno, but they were born there, so that's slightly different. Who else? Other celebrities: Jensen Huang, I already said him, and Lauren Sanchez. So there are probably more people, but
It just get out of our pockets, man.
yeah.
Motherfuckers pay taxes to a government that is supposed to be looking out. And then on top of that, if you are a celebrity that has made a shit ton of money and you happen to own property down there, live down there, whatever, then there's that money. There's the government, then there's this money.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of our pockets, B. Like for some things, I'm with it. Yeah, that makes sense. But when there's things like this, it's like, fuckers we paying you our taxes for, you son bitch. And also, remember the fact that the last bit of tax cuts that took place in the United States were made permanent for a certain percentage of the population, and it was temporary for the rest of us. Yeah. So when you looked up one day at your check and didn't seem to have as much zeros or whatever on there, that's because that tax break went away, right? And they got to keep theirs. Guess who got to keep theirs? Oprah kept hers. Dwayne kept his. All the people he just said, they got to keep theirs. So, yeah. Don't be looking in my pockets when you have a personal connection or business connection to that place. The government and you. Right? The government and you. That should be more than enough.
Yeah.
More than enough.
All facts.
I agree with that too, Stella. The conversation could be applied to our current
though.
political race right now. Yeah, the only reason it's not is because yeah. But it need to be. Like when you see the amount of money, DeSantis' little war chest, they were talking about some shit that took place. They pulled the money out of Ohio and a couple of places. 100 million.
Yeah.
100 million to run for public office so you can make more money.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is ridiculous. It's 100% ridiculous. But that's beside the point. Yeah, Dwayne, my advice, run. To quote the late great Bray Wyatt.
For president?
No, away from Oprah. Oh. Run. Run.
Well,
run.
I just thought of something. Is it possible that he's using her?
Not only is it 100% possible that he is using her, even if none of this was true, he would still have been using her, because these people are very calculated in their career goals.
Right. And again, he talk about Barack and Bruno. He absolutely has ties to Hawaii.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's messy.
It's messy.
That's really my biggest issue. Like it's just so messy. Like why we gotta be so messy? Why can't we just get it fixed?
Because see, and the reason we can't get it fixed, is because of where priorities are. Here. That's what it is. It's priorities.
Absolutely.
And I think it sucks too, from a standpoint of we should not have to wait for huge natural disasters to take place for the government to be putting money into these infrastructure. God damn it, we got pipes under the damn ground that have been there since the turn of the century.
Yeah.
And every president, regardless of party,
Mm-hmm.
has made promises over the last, I want to say, 50 years or so about infrastructure.
Yeah.
And every time they piecemeal the shit out of it. Why? Because this place is not does not have a functioning government that can just get shit done. Like where they put aside their partisan bullshit and
Correct.
say, all right, all of us got to use these streets. All of us got to use these bridges. All of us
Yeah.
got to breathe this air. All of us got to drink this water.
Because that's just factual.
It's just factual. But when you think you can inoculate yourself from the problems that the rest of the American people have, this is when you stop caring. And a lot of times it's money that people think they can use that as a barrier. And it does work. There are times where it 100% works, that the amount of money that you've been able to accumulate can shield you from the problems that everybody else has. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But they've gone too far with a lot of that shit. And it's to the point where now, well, fuck it, I'll be able to find me an escape hatch. So I'm going to do what I think is politically expedient. And if that means demonizing workable science, demonstrable evidence that shit is getting warmer, climate is changing, it's causing more intense storms, and we had a lot to do with that shit through human activity. If that means that I can obfuscate and twist the narrative and distort it and get a bunch of people who are just regular Americans who are really at the slave of all of the information institutions and stuff, like where we have to kind of go off of what they say because we don't have either the expertise or the amount of time, you know what I'm saying, to go and research all of this shit. They have to go off what they say. So what they can do is they'll both sides every fucking issue. They'll both sides of the shit. Even if the science is literally on the side of this particular thing here, it's the other guy's job to both sides of the shit and say, whoa, opinions vary. No, motherfucker, that's only true from a technical sense where there's 95% of the science is saying this and 5% of the science is saying what you're saying right now. So you can technically say that opinions vary. But when you look into the actual numbers, consensus matters. They all got the same data.
Correct.
Right? They coming up with these conclusions. If 95% of them come up with these conclusions, and the 5% over here, well, we disagree. Nigga, what the fuck? But that's where we at. And that's where we'll remain because there's no real stomach to change any of that. Who could change it? I don't fucking know, but I can tell you this for nothing. If there's any change to that shit coming, it'll be at the hands of the people once they get their heads out of their asses.
That's not going to happen.
And since, as SPJ so eloquently just stated, that's not going to happen, I will stand on my original assessment that this is not changing. And
it's not going to go well.
Here's the other thing. I was about to bring that up. I was just about to bring that up. Because it's not changing, the results of this, it's all going to end in tears. It's all going to end in tears. I had a friend of mine post this week, and he moved out to California to do some acting shit. I had him post about, damn, this shit something like the Roman Empire, blah, 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 blah. I was like, it's been looking like that for a minute. For a minute. And the citizenry, a lot of them are too distracted with work and this, that, and the third, and partisan politics to see that there is a direct result. There is a direct result from fuckery. You cannot continue fuckery and expect there not to be an end game. There's an end game coming. And it's going to catch a lot of people off guard.
I mean.
It just is. There's an end game coming. That motherfucker, two of the Proud Boys got sentenced this week. I think one got 18 years and the other got, I forget how much the other one got. I saw some of you people, and I mean people who saw what took place on January 6th and were outraged by it. Been outraged about it for a couple of years now, right? I saw them start going, oh, There may have been too much time. Get out of my face.
I mean, sure.
Get out of my face.
Absolutely.
You can't do that. And just for those of you that aren't from the Maryland, Virginia, DC area, we all grew up over here with the common perception that if you go to DC and fuck around with them federal buildings, you're going to find out.
Right.
We, because we live in this area, visited on school trips, came back and forth. It's only a 45-minute jaunt from Baltimore to DC. We grew up in this area with this perception. Nigga, you go on there and play stupid if you want. Now, our perception has always been, because this is a majority black area for most of this region, DC, Baltimore. Our perception is you can get the shit shot out you.
I mean,
that was our perception. You was gonna get the shit shot out of you by military style weapons. We ain't talking little 9mm service revolver or some shit like that. Nah, you gonna get shot out many times fucking with them. The fact that it took so long to sentence some of these motherfuckers was something that's completely unheard of to us, because we knew from living around here, man, you better not take your ass over there nutting up. Not even by accident. Right. don't even go over there. Slips don't count.
The mother and
the mother
that drove.
Yeah.
No, it can't even be a mistake.
You can't even be a mistake. So you got to imagine what it is for us has to be very similar to what it is for New Yorkers when they saw so many more of the country infatuated with Donald Trump. New Yorkers was like, what the fuck? Do y'all know this? Y'all don't know this man. We deal with this. Y'all don't know this man.
Facts.
People from New York and New Jersey was like, y'all don't know this guy. That's how we was when that video, we was sitting there watching it live. Watching it live happen. We was like, oh, y'all about to die. y'all about to get killed. We expected at any moment for these helicopters, these carrier helicopters, to come over there, and you would see soldiers rappelling down with M16s and shit like that, and they're about to light everybody up.
Thanks.
We didn't get that. We didn't get that. But yeah, it's a fucking mess. All right, it's all a mess. But oh, and one last thing. I'm bringing attention to this because this was a very important moment.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
What you talking about, man?
So today is the anniversary of our first trip to Dragon Con. And in specific, our first trip to a Comic-Con as a business and not just spectators. There was a lot of good memories from this. We didn't go this year because we prioritized the company business and shoring up our infrastructure and also preparing for next year. So as soon as this shit is over, we booking hotel rooms and all that shit. As soon as this shit is over, right?
Right.
Because that's the best time to do it. Trust me, it's culturally down there. It's people that go there going every day since they opened, and they get their shits in soon. So you might think, oh, wait till January. Good luck with that shit.
Right.
Good luck with that. Like I said, this was a big time for us. We made a lot of inroads to inside that industry and into the because it's more of a community, comic book community, and we got people to be aware of the comic book, of the branding and the story. We got very good feedback from everyone, from everything about the art, story, direction. Even when we did this little presentation right here that we threw together in like an hour, like we got really good response from that. And a year later, we are about to do our fulfillment for the second Kickstarter, and starting on September the 6th, the pre-launch page for the next Kickstarter will be up.
Yeah.
Go and like the pre-launch page so that you will be notified when the Kickstarter goes live. So I want to thank everybody just for this year. Has been a good year for this company. It was some things that I wish we could have got a chance to do, but there's always some setbacks early on and shit. You just got to work your way through it and see what happens. But I just want to thank all the people that has been supporting the comic book, from Patreon, from buying the book itself, from the Kickstarter that we just did a few months ago. Like, you guys made all of this shit fucking possible, and seeing what we could do has inspired other people, other writers. SPJ is writing like a madman now, because he has an IP. Actually, has a couple of IPs. He's still working out how many of these motherfuckers do. But you know what I'm saying? He got a couple of IPs. My man Christopher is almost finished with the first issue of the book that he will be publishing through Majestic Comics as well, called Singularity. I haven't read the issue, but I've read his synopsis profiles, character profiles, the direction for the next 10 arcs. It's good shit. My man Sci-Fi, which some of you know as an artist in the Low Technology crew, he has a very, very like heart-wrenching story, right? That is it's science fiction, of course, but it also deals with this relationships between parents and their children in extraordinary circumstances, and it's dope. So the exact same amount of energy for promotion and that we attempted with the extravagant entropy stuff, we're going to do with their stuff as well. There'll be videos that have character profiles for the characters and their stories. There'll be all of those things that we did, but hopefully we're going to do it even better than we did it before, because we was just really learning how to do a lot of that shit then. But yeah, once again, thank you guys. Like Law said, the journey of learning. Stella Form says, was hoping you guys would be there this weekend. Yeah, man. Like we really wanted to, but we just had to prioritize. We had to prioritize, right. You know, and like our business is publishing comic books, not convention hopping. You know what I'm saying? So if we can do it, we'll do it. But if the priority, if it makes more business sense for the health of the company for us not to do it, because you guys got to realize when we go and do those the Comic Cons like this, we don't make that money back. Like we do it, and we know that going in. We know that going in because it's more about promotion, marketing, being present in the community and stuff. But it really depends on what we're trying to accomplish. And one of the main goals, we're trying to release more books every year, right? That's one of the main goals. So, because it's going to be difficult getting through the story arc of 10 to 15 books, releasing one book a year. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, difficult. Right, a little difficult. So we're trying to structure the company in a way where we become more efficient, and we have the funding. I'm
absolutely going to take you up on that offer, McKenna.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yes. 100%. And speaking of that, before I turn over SPJ again, let me shout out McKenna and Cindy. Cindy does a lot of the proofreading, helps us find a lot of the bullshit, right, that we didn't find, and like very helpful, very helpful. And there's of course always a place for them.
And that's nothing new. Like
it's nothing new.
When I did that deeper dive about somebody talking about, I can't remember, something being misogynist or something like that.
Right.
I ran it through them first before I ran it through them. I ran it through Sis. I ran it before. Like ain't no you ain't about to catch me out here.
Out here swimming.
No, nigga, no.
He was like, shit. What? Not the kid.
Fuck all that. You ain't about to catch. No, B. I sampled women of different ethnicities, different
there you go.
ages, different locations. Yeah, fuck no. we not doing
that. The level of responsibility, right? Like And really, to be honest, this should not be abnormal.
No, it
This should
shouldn't be.
not be the shit that we see happening with in social media with the content creators and celebrities and shit like that need not be. That need not be.
Yeah, yeah.
That's laziness and a lot of
Correct.
hubris.
Correct.
And a lot of hubris.
I don't know. Matter of fact, one of the stories, well, two of the stories, perfect timing. What up, Chrissy? Two of the stories that I'm writing, I already hit Chrissy up like, hey, I'm gonna need you to help me with.
Yeah.
I am black. I am not a black woman.
Exactly. The experience is different, bro.
Yeah.
The experience is different.
Like, no, I'm gonna need you to help me out with this.
But yeah, that basically that's it for me. SPJ.
Uh-huh.
So the rumor is you had a
No.
week.
I mean, listen. Ain't nothing terribly bad. It ain't nothing terribly bad. It's just stuff.
It's stuff.
So first, we have another episode of Spoiled Goddaughter Chronicles.
Oh my.
This nigga. So I'm on the phone with Chrissy, and my phone rings. Now, it's a number that I don't have saved. The reason that both of those two things are prevalent is because y'all know that's two strikes.
Facts.
I was busy, and I don't know who's calling me.
Facts.
I'm not answering this goddamn phone call. Like, what are you talking about? That's dead. So I say out loud, I don't know you, and I decline the call. About 30 seconds later, same number. I say out loud again, no. If it's that important, you will leave a message.
Right.
I decline the call. About a minute later, I get a text message saying, God, Dad, it's me. Answer the phone. So I'm still a tiny bit skeptical. Why was I still skeptical? Well, I only have 3 godchildren.
Right.
Their parents are pretty much the only way they could have gotten my number for the most part.
Yeah.
2 of them are from my older cousin who helped raise me, and one of them is from my slightly younger cousin who was raised with me as my sister.
Okay.
I had both of their numbers saved in my phone. The one who was raised with me lives in Ohio now, so if she got a new number, it wouldn't be a Maryland area code.
Right.
The one who helped raise me has had the same number for the vast majority of my adult life. So it didn't even occur to me that she would possibly even have a new number.
Right.
But since the message said to answer the phone, that allowed me to be like, I'll still wait until they call back.
Right.
About 3 to 5 minutes later, phone rings again. I answer. It was my goddaughter. Now, remember the last time I talked about her? She was asking for a car and some shoes and a 70-inch TV for her birthday.
She wanted some beach property.
Bruh. So she came in hot. Hey, you know my birthday coming up, right? Yes. I'm aware. Let's pause right there, actually.
Yeah. Let's pause.
It was technically still August at the time. Her birthday is in October. So,
you know, this is an increasing problem I'm finding with people. And I saw this take place years ago. I saw it starting with the first triples of people saying, I celebrate my birthday all month.
all month.
Okay.
Nigga.
You know what I'm saying? I saw it starting there, right?
Facts.
And now it's a fucking thing.
It's just a thing. So she informs me that she had actually decided what she wanted for her birthday, and she was going to ask me to throw her a hotel party. Let's pause again. The logistics of that alone are staggering. What hotel? Gotta find a hotel. Who's going to be invited?
Yeah.
You're about to be 15. I ain't gotta say that.
Facts.
How were they all getting there? Who was chaperoning? Because here's the thing: if I'm throwing a party, I'm particularly like my preference is that it's all be all girls.
Right.
But if it is all girls, I can't chaperone that party. So
Yeah.
then
Facts.
there are more questions, but I digress.
Yeah.
She brought up that school had just started and how far away from her house it is that school is, and I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely true. She goes to city now. She just started, and it's a good 30, 40-minute bus ride, I'm sure, from her house. So she's like, she wants a phone instead because she doesn't have a phone. And I'm like, that is a very important thing for a teenage girl to have who travels to school by herself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But she needs it early instead of when her birthday comes. Understandable, because school has started.
Yeah.
So I told her I probably got her like the week after next. Here she goes. She says to me, or next week, or even better, this week. I said, yo, I just came back from vacation.
Yeah, like
What was her reaction? One of understanding? No. Her immediate response was, vacation, why you ain't take me?
wow.
Then her mother took the phone from her, and I spoke to her mother for a minute. I still hear her in the background. Let me talk to him. So her mother calls her spoiled. My mother calls her spoiled. She says that her mother is just my cousin, but she's my goddaughter. So she should be able to talk to me. Her mother says, yes, he's my cousin, but I also helped raise him.
Right.
I had to, if I'm judging the debate, I have to give the point to her.
Right.
I gotta get a point.
Facts.
I gotta get a point to her, because without her, you wouldn't be here, and she helped make me be here. So
Yeah, facts.
so that trumps goddaughter on at least a temporary basis. Like, nah, I can't even.
Yeah.
But yeah, and crazy thing about it is, her mother is spoiled too. This nigga is older than me. This nigga, she about to turn 50, I think. But her birthday is before my goddaughter's.
And it's a month, ain't it? She's doing it for a whole month.
No. But her birthday is at the end of this month.
Okay.
I think they're like a week apart, like a week and a half apart. So now she's talking about plans that she wants to do and blah blah. And I'm like, God dang, this is a lot of money.
It's a lot, bro.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And she's like, well, yeah, the phone thing, yeah, but she really needs a keyboard. And like, she wasn't. See, her mother.
Or a computer?
No, a keyboard. Her mother wasn't asking me to buy her a keyboard. Her mother was like, do you have an extra key? And here's the thing. I used to.
Not anymore.
I don't know if I still. I gotta look. Yeah, I gotta look. So in the event that I don't, I'm probably gonna end up buying her a keyboard too. So yeah. See, they be spoiled. And
I have no godchildren.
Uh-huh.
None. Who said? That's purpose. Listen. First of all, the only godfather I'm gonna be, if I'm gonna be a godfather, it's gonna be like in the movie. Okay. It ain't gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? So that's just one. Number two.
First said it.
No, number two. That's perfect. Don't come asking me. Yeah, dude, could you be? No.
Yeah, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. But
you feel me now?
Yeah, if one of your nigga, because if one of your little nephews, whatever nigga, I know that's not the case. No, nigga, no. You can try to play that shit for the people. No, nigga, no. I know that's not the case. We've had conversations, nigga. We've had conversations.
Hilarious.
Yeah, if one of them little niggas came to you asking you for something, you'd be like, all right, listen. Give me a little bit, but I got you. Don't act like this ain't some random. This some dumbass. I don't think I brought it up on here. It was weeks ago, but it could have been eligible for dumbass of the week.
Damn.
On Twitter, talking about, I don't understand the point of God's parents.
Yes, you
Why
do.
would I? No, listen. She says, why would I? And she's talking about the most practical, the whole if you die, blah blah blah. She's talking about that part of it, and she like, why would I trust my children to be raised by somebody that's not related to me? You dumbass.
That makes no sense.
You don't have to not be
my
related to the
goodness,
person to
bro.
be their godparent. Like, these godchildren of mine are also my little cousins.
Yo, you know what's so stupid about that too, bro? Not only the fact that they can still be related to you in other ways, but no one's suggesting you take some random fuck
Bruh,
off the street and say, could you be the godfather?
You're being disingenuous.
Very much so.
Because there's no scenario
where that happens, though.
Like it's possible. I guess it's fathomable that somebody, when they was young, they had their kid, and one of their friends just thought it was cute to be a god. Sure, absolutely, whatever.
It still was
However,
friends,
the practicality of that changes once they get older.
Yeah.
And for people who started older or just had somebody guiding them, they wouldn't have done that shit. It's going to be somebody relatively trusted in some way, shape, or form. It's not just some random motherfucker.
Can you imagine the only time that could take place, right, is that, for instance, in something like Thor: Love and Thunder, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Look out for her.
Right. You imagine that in real life? No, that's not how shit works.
That's not how that works.
What are you talking about?
That's not how that works.
Yo, I was probably the reason that I didn't put it on Dumbass of the Week is because she got flamed.
Oh, she already
instantly. Instant.
Because
and
it's
I was
dumb.
Like, yo, that's the.
What have we learned? What have we learned? We learned the lesson that y'all need to really see. My man Adequate had a song called "Think Before You Speak."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before you put some shit out.
It's like, nigga, what? To what end?
To what end?
To what end am I randomly going to be like, yo, you got a decent height on you. Yo, can you be my child's godfather?
Over there with the Big Apple hat. Listen,
bruh.
My kid is the godfather. You in?
Like, what the fuck? That requires absurd amounts of ridiculousness because the parent has to be dumb, and then the person accepting has to be dumb.
And also, this is when Child Protective Services need to appear because,
nigga,
like, fuck out of here.
What?
Fuck
but yeah. So that is. First of all, it's going to get worse because she's only about to be 15.
Right.
So for the next 6 years or so, it's probably going to get worse. And then on top of that,
it's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse because my other two godchildren are younger than her. So
and they're watching. Listen.
Bro, one of them is her brother.
Oh, she's setting precedent. You got to nail some shit. You got to nip some shit in the butt. She's setting precedent, bro. This is the same science of what you allow the older child to do.
Mm-hmm.
The younger children are watching.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Now, I always have a fail-safe for that very thing because we, as a parent, you make mistakes. Right. That's just part of being human.
Fact.
But I have developed a fail-safe that works about 99.8% of the time when a younger child attempts to bring up what the older child was allowed to do, and they ask, how come I can't do it? And this shit only works 99.8, but that's pretty good. Because I said so.
I mean, listen, there's something to be said for absolute rule. There is something to be said for that. Listen. Unfortunately, I'd say it nicer, but it would still mean the same fucking.
It would still mean the same thing.
Yeah, unfortunately,
there is
things in life that you can't necessarily control. This is one of them.
You tell the kid,
life's not fair.
Your father isn't perfect. I made mistakes with him. I'm trying to correct them with you. That was a mistake when I let her do that. I willfully agree. I shouldn't have done it. I apologize.
Bruh.
But I'm trying to do better. And part of me doing better is not letting you do that shit.
Absolutely. That's my thing.
You better keep that in the tuck. Because trust me, they over there going, what she get? She got,
bruh,
what? Bam.
A phone, a keyboard.
Bam.
See, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. See, no, McKenna, and I'm glad you said that. And that's exactly why I'm not going to use those words.
Right,
But the
right.
sentiment is going to be the same. I'm gonna find another way to say it. I'm gonna get out of gist because I said so. Because mainly for one reason above all, because I've said it on here before. My mother beat in my head that I don't know is not a good answer.
Right.
So I'm gonna give you an answer. I'm gonna give you a reason. It's still gonna mean because I said so.
Right. Sometimes I don't know is the only answer though.
I know.
I know that's not.
But
that,
once you've exhausted all other
exactly.
Right.
But again, that I don't know is not a good answer for that.
No,
it's not. It's like McKenna said. Like I told you, the best way to do that is to be on some old. I made mistakes. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. I ain't got it. Or if I have some other excuse, like for instance, I think. I want to say the other two are 13 and 11. I would assume, I would hope. The plan is that by the time an 11-year-old is like 15, I will have had a child myself.
Facts.
And that is an easy get out of jail.
That is the easy out right there. That's the easy out.
Like, listen, sir, I understand.
Things
I
happening.
apologize. I know what your god sister did, but I didn't have
a
these
kid
responsibilities back then.
You better go get a damn baby doll and be like, listen, I mean, she got to eat something. No, get an AI simulated. You hear this in the background?
Fact,
crazy. Crazy.
So moving on. Again, Justin EP still streaming. It's available on Bandcamp. Power is still out there streaming.
Insurrection Day, which is particularly relevant.
It's absolutely
Seeing as though these Proud Boys are getting time.
That's still streaming. They'll never get me down. Still streaming.
It's still
Next song is dropping soon. I'll start putting out promo for that in like a week or two.
Yeah.
Started doing my commentary TikToks again. No idea how long that's going to last. That's not necessarily a permanent thing, but it's happening currently because I just be seeing so much shit. And I just be like, y'all fucking stupid. But anyway.
People are fucking dumb. But, it's a never... If I still had that fire in the belly to be a YouTuber like I had years ago, one thing you never had to worry about is running out of subjects. Because people are fucking stupid.
Nigga. Don't even get me started. All right, so the rest of the vacation. The rest of the vacation was amazing. We continued to basically do the same things we were doing. A little more in-depth now that I'm not actually entertaining and cooking and all that other shit.
You were doing your fair share of cooking, nigga.
I was doing a lot of things. So basically, I'll give y'all the menu. So I cooked breakfast every day except for the first and last. And I made dinner every day except for the last. Breakfast every day was some combination of like French toast, pancakes, eggs, sausage patties, sausage links, whatever. Thursday I made cheeseburger, egg rolls, and fries. For y'all on my Facebook, y'all saw.
I was mad as shit.
It is what it is, my guy.
I was just furious.
Listen,
I was furious, Styles.
It be what it be.
What up, Travis?
What up? Thursday I made cheeseburger, egg rolls, and fries. Friday. Friday was wing night. Friday, I made barbecue, teriyaki, and honey buffalo wings.
Not fried?
Not
just plain old fried chicken with some
garlic? And I made mac and cheese, and I made grains. And Saturday, I made steak quesadillas. Also made a pineapple upside down rum cake.
Gross.
Because we were celebrating a birthday. Actually, that's why I made the teriyaki wings and the steak case, because we were celebrating one of my friend's one of my friend's birthdays.
Right.
Her birthday was the 30th. And no, we weren't on vacation on the 30th, but since it was the week of her birthday, so we spent most of Friday and a portion of Saturday on the beach. I didn't get in the water because I don't do the ocean anymore.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
yeah,
thing. It's a whole.
I'm done with the ocean.
Listen,
I'm doing it.
I want to. I don't mind living in the ocean.
Oh,
You get
absolutely.
that? Oh, that because I can sit on the either a towel with a chair
Yeah.
or
Yeah, we
some
had chairs and
grassy
stuff.
shit right there. I'll sit
Mm-hmm.
over there with that and enjoy the view and the
Facts.
breeze coming off of the ocean and maybe take
Facts.
a walk along the. But no,
Yeah.
I'm done.
No, I'm not.
It's
I'm not
above
getting
me
in the
now.
ocean.
It's above
It
me.
is what it is. It's the
It's above
logistics of that alone are annoying as fuck. But
me. Yeah.
another portion of Saturday because we have rented beach equipment
Hmm.
and they're supposed to come.
But
get
like
it
a
at 5.
Zamboni or some shit? What the fuck?
No,
Oh,
nigga,
damn.
the chairs and the umbrella and all that.
Yeah. Did you?
Verbal
Hey,
dumbass.
did you also get a beach ball? One of the big beach balls?
No, we did not get.
Frisbee
Why
and
would we get a
shit?
beach ball? Yo, shut up. Anyway, so they were supposed
It's
to come
part of
get
the
the shit at
equipment.
5. They were supposed to come get the shit at 5. So we packed up at like 4.
No, wait a minute. When you went and rented that, you went
I
from,
don't know.
of course, a
I
local
wasn't
place,
involved.
right?
I wasn't involved.
Oh.
I didn't. I just contributed money to that. I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't.
Well, at least you
facilitate
didn't
that.
have to plan that too, man.
Well, again, I'm gonna get to that. But yeah, like I don't. We packed up around 450 or so because we're like they're likely going to be here soon to come get their shit.
Right.
So we waited in the Airbnb for a little bit. They still wasn't there. We was like, fuck that. I was like, I'm going to the fucking pool because I'm getting in the goddamn water. I just wasn't getting in the ocean.
Right.
So we went to the pool for a while.
I hate the pool too, but good.
Nah, you bugging.
No.
I was so much like being on the beach was okay. Going to the pool was so much better because I actually got to get into the fucking. Well, I didn't have to be hot. I didn't have to be fucking hot. So that was great. Otherwise, we really just hung out, talked shit, played games, chilled. So as I alluded to, this was very, very much because you mentioned it on last episode. I absolutely ended up having the type of vacation that I like to have.
Yeah.
Because
That's my shit.
you
That's
talk
my
about the
shit.
cooking. Marcus almost made it. Fabo. Marcus
What up, Fabo?
almost made it the whole trip without doing something crazy. Almost. It was. Other than this, it was. His record was spotless.
Damn.
This nigga. So, again, I just mentioned I had the type of vacation that I enjoy, and last week you mentioned the whole cooking thing. Well, since I cooked for the majority of the meals, everybody else was super, on top of the cleaning part of it.
Okay.
So I really
Sounds fair.
wouldn't have had to clean anything, but I always, when I'm cooking for a group of people, I always do some cleaning as I go because I don't want
Well,
to
yeah, that's
use
what
all
a lot
the
of
fucking
cooks do.
yeah. So
Plus, it actually helps you
Absolutely.
because if that shit get too cluttered over there.
bruh, it's
Yeah.
difficult. Yeah. So the first night, Marcus loads the dishwasher. That's not true. He didn't really have any shenanigans this time, fam. So the first night, Marcus loads the dishwasher. The next morning, he informed me that the dishwasher hadn't worked. Now, I don't really know much about dishwashers. I didn't grow up with one, and I don't have one currently. But pretty much all of our Airbnbs that we've ever had, yes, I'm aware. Yeah. Pretty much all of our Airbnbs that we've gotten have had dishwashers. And a good portion of the time, Marcus is one of the people who will load it because I'm always cooking. So, again, that's how that kind of goes. When he saw that it didn't work, he offered an explanation of why he thought it didn't work. In the moment, without me investigating, his explanation made sense. He made, for what he thought was, no, that's not a shenanigan. We can't count that as shenanigan no more.
might
fam.
be.
That's him living his life, letting his freak flag fly. But
Nah, but
So-
I think I would have counted that. But
so
I would have counted
he
that.
made the correction based on what he thought was the issue that night. So he put another load in. Okay. Next morning, I'm up starting to cook. Something I needed was in the dishwasher. So I open the dishwasher to get it, and I see that there's still soap, powdered soap. That leads me to understand, you know what? That gives me an idea. So
There was an
it.
idea.
Listen. So I closed it. I started. About an hour and a half later, it's done.
Interesting.
I open it. The dishes are clean.
Interesting.
Turns out, this nigga never actually turned the dishwasher on.
Again, and again.
Nigga. He never turned the dishwasher on is what happened. So
did you attempt to hold him accountable?
Oh no, I let him know. But I ain't fussed because it's not like it wasn't a scenario where like we desperately needed. And plus people were willing to hand wash dishes.
And it was a dishwasher and nobody had to actually hand wash, did they?
They did. They didn't have to. They wouldn't have. Here's the thing. Because of his mess up, they did have to. But they actually wouldn't have had to. Like they really didn't have to.
Yeah,
objectively, they didn't.
That's true
have
because you would have found out that it was the stuff.
If anybody else, if any other person had loaded the dishwasher, we would have realized, oh, it works. But because he loaded the dishwasher,
if I'd have had to wash them dishes, there would have been some accountability. Because you see, I'm look. Even though
here's the thing.
You cooked, they clean. That's a good deal.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The only person that was like everybody else before we even knew that the dishwasher had an issue, quote unquote, because it didn't have. It was perfectly fine. Before we even knew that it had an issue, people were washing dishes by hand. So, and he would fuss like we got a whole dishwasher.
Oh, that makes it work. Bro, you just added more shit to that plate right there. Because you over here getting in our ass about doing this.
Facts.
And then you
can't even start the goddamn dishwasher. Which is crazy. Because again, on these trips, whenever we're domestic, we are in an Airbnb. And that Airbnb has a dishwasher. And he has loaded said dishwasher and ran successfully. So I don't understand how in this instance. No, maybe the first night. But the second night, no. So I don't understand. I'm really confused. Like you hear it. It's not. So there is a bunch of water flowing around at a high velocity. You're going to fucking hear it if the dishwasher's running. The fact that that's the most confusing part of it. Not just the fact that he's done this several times before and it works. That's one thing. The most egregious part of it is, how did you not realize that you weren't hearing anything?
Maybe he thought it was a newfangled
I
dishwasher.
Guess that's possible.
That decreases the sound pollution.
I guess that's absolutely possible. They probably do exist.
I mean, I wouldn't know. But it's just if I'd have had to wash one dish when I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, nigga. And the funny thing is, in my head, that first night, I was saying the same thing you were saying. Like, why are y'all washing dishes with y'all? In my head, I never said it out loud. But in my head, I'm like, yo, we got dishwasher.
In your head.
Well, clearly, didn't matter. Well, actually, again, objectively, it did. We actually did have a working dishwasher, but whatever. So, yeah.
By the way, wherever we don't do this enough. By the way, wherever you guys are watching this at, hit that like button, please.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that part. That's a thing. So, white collar crime. It's still a part of the whenever we do these trips, we try our best not to, have a lot of waste. It's not always the easiest to gauge how much people will eat of a particular thing. And
I
then,
think I know why y'all do that too. Because I've never stayed at an Airbnb, but it's much different than staying at some hotel resort. There are
absolutely.
people that come into your room and clean your shit
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
whereas an Airbnb, that's not happening. And you
Nah,
look
they
like
don't
a
clean until you
real
leave.
fucking pig.
Right.
And these motherfuckers come over there and y'all got dishes all over goddamn
But here's the
place and
thing.
shit.
Mostly, food itself, though.
Yeah.
Like food and drink, we don't like to have a bunch of extra when it's over. But the problem with that is it's hard to gauge because you never know how much what person is going to eat and drink.
Y'all
and
don't be eating enough.
No, nigga. Listen, this is what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened. When we went to Deep Creek, I cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. When that trip was over, we all agreed that's never happening again because it's so much fucking food. Like,
Well, the part of the breakfast, depending on what you cook, could kind of be used for lunch.
you're not.
I'm just saying.
See, you're not listening. Yes, that is the point that we're making. So that's what I've adjusted to. I only cook twice a day now when we're on vacations, and whenever niggas eat is whenever niggas eat.
Right.
Instead of me specifically cooking 3 times a day,
You'd have been straight without.
bro.
If it was me, adequate.
You stupid. Oh yeah, Eddie called me. Eddie called when I was there. That and I love Eddie. I love
I
Eddie.
know, yo, he's so ass, yo. He's so ass, yo. He's so ass.
This nigga called me.
So ass.
I put him on speaker. I told him he was on speaker. Everybody spoke. Chrissy spoke. Fab spoke. Blah 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 blah. This nigga had the audacity to say,
The cheek.
"Yo, you in Myrtle Beach? Why you ain't tell me, nigga?"
Come on.
This is
bro.
the second time
This is
in
the
2
second
years
time, yo.
that I've gone to
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach. Both times,
You knew
I've
about
asked you,
Yeah.
hey,
like, come on.
come on, slide up to Myrtle Beach. Both times.
Pulling your chain,
No,
yo. He
blah,
had
blah,
to
blah. No. It's Eddie. It's Eddie. No, he was not. He was he was dead serious. I'm like, yo, you don't remember? And I ran through it. I was like, yo, it was me, you, Chrissy was on the call. You and Jennifer was on, and I was like, yo, y'all should come that. Blah. And he like, oh, shit, yeah, you're right.
He's so ass. Yo, he's so ass.
Yeah, so.
He is so ridiculously ass.
Let me see what happened next. Oh, the white collar crime. So we try our best not to waste, have a bunch of extra shit at the end. It's not the easiest thing to gaze, but normally what we do at the end is, and what I've now adopted is, I don't cook dinner that last night now because there's always so much food. There's no point in me making a whole nother meal,
right.
knowing that we leave the next day.
Right.
So,
right.
That's what happened. And whenever we leave, we pack up all the shit that, we pack up all the shit that's basically left, and we take it and we find some homeless people, and we slide it off to them.
Right.
Last time we went to Myrtle Beach, we were able to do that successfully with no problem, no issue. But this time, we didn't, because what we'll do is, in our travels, if we happen to see somebody, we'll make a mental note of the area, and then when we leave, we try to go back in that area to see if, we find anybody. This time, we didn't really see anybody in our travels. Fab saw one guy, and when we went back to the area, there was nobody there.
Right.
So, just a microcosm of how terrible this country / world is, that this made sense to do, I Googled the highest crime rate.
Oh, shit.
In the area, and hopefully somewhere in the area we can find some less fortunate people.
Yo, that's a crazy bar.
Right? Because it seems wrong, but logistically,
You should have looked for the most poverty stricken,
no,
less
nigga, it's the same
economic.
thing. It's the same thing. And here's the thing. But wait, it gets worse. It gets so much worse. So I put the area in my GPS. We driving there, and we get to where it should be right there, and the GPS tells us to make a left. So
And it says run.
no, nigga, shut up. Listen. The GPS says make a left. Fab like right here. I wasn't looking, so I'm like, yeah, nigga, right here. And he like, that kind of looks like a gated community though. So we pull, we make the left, we make the left in, we make the left in. Nigga. No. Nothing but mansions. No. Legitimately. When I say mansion, I don't mean the shit we got here that people call mansions.
Yeah.
No, nigga. I mean mansions.
Nigga, we saw some shit though that time we was out. I forget where we was at. We saw
bigger
some
than them.
shit, yo. That's crazy.
Bigger than them, yo.
That's
Bigger
crazy.
than them. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm like, yo, what? Like, so obviously, matter of fact, let me see if I can find the area.
Yo,
on,
what's so crazy about that is the highest crime-ridden area around there.
Bruh!
These motherfuckers.
Like, literally, the place that I looked, the site that I was on, it had a map, and it color-coded. And the closer the red it was, the higher the crime. This shit was crimson.
Nigga, let me tell you something. All of these motherfuckers should have something similar. And I'm going to tell you why. You see, these little petty nuisance crimes that you see take place in these areas, they're poverty-stricken and shit like that, motherfuckers stealing some shit because they need the money, because they want to do something, they want to pay their rent or get some food or do whatever the fuck they're going to do. That's one thing. It's bad, but it affects a small amount of people. It's just that if it's a lot of people doing it, then it can affect, the whole area, right? These motherfuckers up here with these giant ass mansions, the crimes they get into, they're literally robbing entire fucking like states. like they are that amount of money that they be getting for the stuff that they do. Yikes! It's
Absolutely
about time that was
crime.
seen. Yo, it's about time that shit is seen. It's crime. We ain't doing that. It's crime. Period.
I was like, yo, let me see if I can get the close up. What's this?
That shit is redonkulous.
Yo, let me show you this shit. So, let me share. All right.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my, come on, yo. Yo, I'm getting
This
mad
is
now.
the area they took me
I'm
to.
getting mad now, yo. I'm getting mad. Yo, you should have. Oh my, y'all. What did y'all do?
We drove around because we was like, maybe it's like behind this area or something.
I'm gonna tell you, the punchline of all of this wouldn't have been just the fact
Look
that
at this
these
shit.
are these palatial ass, big ass fucking mansions. That's the biggest crime area. The punchline would have been had y'all got out the car, knocked on the door, and offered them your food. That's it, boy.
Yo, nigga, that's funny. That's hilarious, actually. Hold up, let me get down to, because they're at a point. Like when we got to that part, it was like, all right, something's wrong, but this isn't where the GPS is actually taking it. So all right, let's keep going, right? So we were supposed to turn right there, but we didn't. We just kept going straight, and then
look at this. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
But no, it still gets worse. Like it's actually I don't even know the word, because it's like the idea, what I expected to see when we got to this place that had the highest fucking crime rate.
I know what you expected to see. You expect to see Emerson Village, nigga.
Nigga, right?
Or Papa Grove and shit. Or
nigga. Yo, look
Monument
at this area.
Street or some shit.
There's a... Yo, look at this fucking area, yo. And
my
then...
God, man. You know how many vlogs I would have shot around there had
this is one of the smaller houses.
That's like about the size of my house. I
And
don't know
it's
what's going on in the back, but
well, right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then if we go, because this is where
nah, yo, look at this shit.
Yeah, nigga, it's what happened.
Yo,
it's 100% what happened.
Y'all should have walked right up to one of them doors. Go, excuse me, we giving out. We had all this food, and I know y'all ain't doing too good. I know y'all ain't doing too good around here, so thought we'd hook you up. Maybe if you had some food, you won't go out there and rob a motherfucker like y'all obviously been out here doing.
Yo,
look at this. Come on, man. Y'all mad right now, yo.
Bruh. I was like, yo, fuck this. Like, y'all bugging. All right, so obviously that failed, right? So we like, all right, what else can we do? So I Googled shelters, homeless shelters, because they can't live there.
Right.
So our rationale was, if we find a homeless shelter somewhere in that area,
right,
we will probably find some homeless people, because they can't stay there forever. They got to leave at some point.
Usually during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to the homeless shelter. There is not a person within 2-3 miles of this. Like, it's like off out. Like, I don't understand how homeless people get there. The point is, that's the point I'm making. So,
well, in that area, I think it's comparatively in that area. If you look at those houses and all that shit that was there, maybe the homeless people, they were just living in there.
No, nigga, listen. At this homeless shelter, there weren't houses around it. There was nothing around it.
How far away was that area from this?
A good 30 minutes driving, and Fab was driving. Oh,
damn.
So, yeah.
If a normal person was driving, it was like 2 hours.
I think Fab knocked on the door. Somebody that was staff was there, and he convinced them to take the box.
Hope they tested the food and shit.
I mean,
just be taking food from motherfuckers.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever. I mean, that's absolutely true. It's one thing to hand it directly to a homeless person. It's another thing to hand it to a staff member of a homeless shelter. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Money. I alluded to this earlier with my goddamn goddaughter. I'm also broke. I spent well over spent well over $600 between getting off Tuesday and going back to work the next Tuesday.
It's funny how that works. So I was gone for a week.
Yeah.
You spent $600, and this is on a restful vacation.
Absolutely. But also, I wasn't just paying for myself. So, but still, that'd have been $300. Like,
and you cooked.
Yeah.
Because you would think people's going out to restaurants.
Oh no, it'd have been way more expensive.
Yeah.
If I didn't cook, it would have been way more. That's the main reason I cook, so that we don't have to spend our money on food as much. We can spend our money on other things we want to do. Right. Like I said, that's cool. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I'm fairly certain everybody else did as well. All right, the elephant in the room. So I told y'all that when we had the intervention thing, I told the rest of them except Marcus that this is it.
Right.
So.
This is it.
I'm pretty sure I did it the first night where I told Marcus, and he handled it much better than I expected him to. I thought there was going to be major pushback, but no, none at all.
Why did you think that though?
I'll give you an example. Marcus wants to go. Marcus is going to St. Martin for his birthday.
Martin.
St. Martin is a very expensive trip.
Yeah, no shit.
When he told it, we, God damn it, we had talked about going to St. Martin the year before, and when I did the research and found out how much it cost, I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening. And his response was, all right, maybe for my next birthday. And I told him specifically, I said, Marcus, if that trip is still $3,000 a person,
Jeez.
then nobody's going on that trip with you.
All right, so average out how much your trips typically will cost the person.
Generally, when we go international, per person, depending on how you do double occupancy and all that other good stuff, generally it's less than 22. Actually, always. I'm sorry, not even it's always less than 22.
Right.
Every time, every single time.
Closer
Generally,
to 18 to
closer
2.
to 15. Generally, because of how I plan trips. Like, I personally don't believe. Like, I believe in spending money on trips, but spending money on the trip.
Right.
While you're there, like activities and whatever else you want to do,
not just on
not just getting there and be able to stay there. That's crazy. I don't. So that's how I plan my trips. So generally, like for instance, when we went to Jamaica, I think that was like 18 a person. It's not crazy.
And that's all inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
This trip, if you don't want to share a room. And that Jamaica was not with not sharing rooms. Right. If you don't want to share a room with somebody, it's 33. It starts at 33. There are still other things that can make it go up. It starts at 33. I told him last year that if that trip is still 33, nobody's going. He either forgot or didn't want to listen to me, and planned the trip. Anyway.
Both.
Hey, whatever. So he planned the trip anyway, and when he put it in the group chat, nobody responded. I'm sorry, that's not exactly true. Somebody inquired about, because what he gave us, the price he gave us was for double occupancy. But generally, we don't share rooms. Yeah. So somebody asked him, what's the price for single occupancy? And that's where
$6,000.
No, nigga, that's where the minimum was 33. And nobody ever said anything else about it. And once he realized that they weren't going, he caught an attitude. That is why I assumed that when I explained to him that I wasn't doing this shit no more, and I clearly said this includes helping you. Like I'm not planning the trip, and I'm not helping you plan the trip. I expected some backlash, but I explained myself before I let him respond, and I didn't really get any backlash. So at this point, all of the main trip goers have been informed of my retirement.
This nigga is killing me.
They have all handled it well, and I absolutely cannot wait to get on their nerves when whoever plans the next trip.
See, my only issue is, Jay-Z said he was going to retire.
Nah, nigga, this ain't that.
Like, I mean, I hear you, but this is also not your first retirement.
No, it is actually my first retirement. It's not my first time contemplating retirement.
Listen, nigga, I hear you. We gonna see.
Ain't no we
because
gonna see. Listen.
You ain't 40 yet.
No, listen.
So
I'm still going on trips. Whether the rest of the niggas are going or not, that don't got nothing to do with me. I'm the most that they will get to me if it comes to a situation where there's a trip that I'm planning, it's for me and Chrissy. And if I happen to mention it to one of them and they like, let's go, I want to go, I'll send them the information. But I'm not doing. Matter of fact, so I already have 2 trips pending, which are the birthday cruise and somewhere overseas for me and Chrissy's birthdays next year. Not sure where yet. With the overseas trip, it's generally a lot less truly planning, but more of being the info and organization guy.
Right.
If they choose to come along on our trip next year, I will gladly tell them what resort we're staying in.
Of course.
But I'm not putting in effort to make sure any flights or activities or any that is synchronized, and I'm not doing check-ins to see who's at what stage. I'm not doing none of that
trying to
shit.
figure out why that became your bag in the first place.
Because I'm good at planning things.
All right.
That's simply it.
I'm good at things. I refuse to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know, was it a case of you took it upon yourself, or was it, well, James was good at planning things.
Oh, no, listen. You know me too well to assume that some niggas that aren't named James Davis were like, James will do it, and I actually did it. You know much. Come on, bro. you know better than that.
Look, I just need confirmation, man.
That's not what happened.
Figure it out.
Matter of fact, when that started happening is when I started to make this decision. When it got to the point when niggas was like, oh, really? Oh, really? Okay, watch this.
James,
yeah,
how many trips for the mob would you calculate that you have planned?
All right, so the first trip, the genesis of this wasn't a trip that I planned. It was a trip that my mother planned for my stepfather for his birthday. The next trip was Cancun. I did plan that. So that was 20. The year's not important. I'm gonna try to do about a trip. So Cancun. The next trip we went on was Medicine Nothing, but I didn't plan that. So we're not gonna count it. Next trip was Deep Creek. After Deep Creek was I think Myrtle Beach. Then after Myrtle Beach, we did. Actually, I'm not gonna do them in order because I'm going.
Yeah, just skip. Yeah.
So, Deep Creek, Cancun, Myrtle Beach again, Miami, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Atlantic City. Right.
That's a whole
They had
career.
a good ass run.
That's
right.
a whole
That's
career.
And that's why I don't feel bad about it. Because y'all had a 3 to 4 year run.
And hold up, bro. Even with that, I feel you missed your calling.
Listen,
because the hospitality business.
I would absolutely. There's no way that I would have been doing this for a job.
No, listen to me.
I don't even care if it's a side hustle.
Listen.
There's no way.
The accommodations. Mm-hmm. I had somebody, I forget which friend of mine it was, that was looking into doing that shit. And I was looking at the shit that he was showing me about the perks that come with that.
No, absolutely. Here's the problem, though. I don't like people. I'm not about to do this with people I don't know. It's already stressful enough.
Doing a travel agency, I mean, literally working for a hotel. They was talking about sitting in this man.
Oh no, facts. That's facts.
Crazy ass.
That's facts.
And a lot of money, and I'm like,
no, that's facts. Still, I don't think I could. Yeah, no, I don't think I could do that.
You've been on vacation, damn near every day.
I mean, sure, but again,
except for you had to work. But
right. So yeah, they got a good 8 trips out of me. So
8 fucking trips, nigga. That's a career.
So that's what I'm saying. So like that's why I didn't feel. But I don't remember if I brought this up, but one of the group who didn't go to Myrtle Beach was asking about the next trip. I told her that she already knows my next trip. It's the cruise.
Damn.
She asked me if a specific person was going. I told her I don't know. She asked about another person. I said I don't know. Then she had the nerve.
Why don't you know?
Then she had the nerve to get frustrated. What do you know? I know I'm going on this trip. That's what I know. I'm going on the cruise. I can't tell you.
And you're not.
No, she can. She absolutely can. It's not till December. She can go if she wants. I'm going. I didn't plan this cruise. Chrissy planned this cruise.
Oh shit!
And I don't need.
So I need to congratulate Chrissy on her new career.
No. Mm-mm. See, and that was the second thing. That was the second thing. I didn't listen. I ain't saying it to these niggas.
Right.
But these niggas know how I get.
Right.
If I
you ain't
express,
pulling my peoples into that.
Bro, listen. I expressed enough in a friendly enough way that essentially I'm being taken advantage of, and not in a malicious way.
I know what you're saying.
And y'all not about to do that. No, that's not how that works. Because it's one thing for it to be me.
Right. You're not
it's
doing
not about to be
like that.
And I would, and they know that because I act the same way about them.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's not. So, like I said, I didn't plan this cruise, and I don't need this particular person. I'd love if she goes, absolutely, but I don't need this particular person there in order for me to enjoy it. So then she asked about.
You don't need anybody else there,
bruh. So then she asked about whatever trip was after that. I told her I'm not aware of any trip after that. She mentioned some location wanting to go back. I said I would like to go back there too. Go ahead and plan it. And let me know the details. She's going to be my biggest annoyance with this transaction, her specifically, because she is refusing to understand what I'm saying. And y'all know how effective I am with standing on my square.
Here's the thing about that, though. I like the way you put that. She's refusing to understand. It's not that she can't understand.
Yeah, no, she's refusing to understand.
Refusing.
She specifically said this. I said, you aren't listening. She said,
like, I know,
no, I'm
nigga.
not. Yeah, she was like, no, I'm not taking it seriously. I said, okay.
See,
all right.
Just a bit of advice.
It's not my job to convince you.
We only have a limited amount of trips around the sun before we are out of this bitch.
Facts.
In the future, do not waste your time attempting to move a mountain.
Bruh.
Because the mountain's going to outlive you.
And she knows me. This is my ex's mother. She knows me. This person has known me since I've been 16. When she first met me, she didn't like me because she thought I was an asshole. Nigga, you know me. You know me.
We tend to like you despite that.
I know. Listen. And that's my point. You know me. You know who I am. You know what happens when I make a decision. Why do you assume this one is different from all the other decisions?
Because
the answer can't be because you like going on trips. I didn't say I wasn't going on trips.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's not what I said.
I didn't say I retired from going on trips.
No.
I said
I love vacations.
Planning.
Right. I retired from planning for a group. Our other homegirl, she wants to go to Deep Creek. I'm like, all right, so what has to happen for you to go to Deep Creek?
I'll stay up Deep Creek.
I've only been
once. A lot of paddle and shit.
I've only been once. I said, all right, what has to happen to get you to Deep Creek? She says, not much. I said, all right, but if I plan it, it's just gonna be me, you, and Chrissy.
That's a good though.
Not really. Not.
I mean,
I can't express how it's not, but it's not. So she said something. I said, well, then you might want to get on that.
She might want to bring a friend, and then
that's fine. She can plan it.
So what you saying?
I'm not, bro.
If it's just you, Chrissy, and her, you ain't got no problem with planning.
Yeah.
But if it's you, Chrissy, and she brings a friend, like, oh no,
she got planned. She got planned. I mean, it just listen. It is what it. It is what it is. All right. So the return, the disorientation of the fucking return. So, so when we left, we dropped my car off around the corner where I usually drop my car. I drove Chrissy's car when we went to the airport. When we landed, the first thing we said was, we want to stop and get something to eat before we go in the house.
Okay.
But between that time and the time we got to the car, and I'm not going. I told her I wasn't going to talk about why it took us so long to get to the car, so I'm not going. I'm not going to express. I'll just say. All I'll say is it wasn't my fault.
I have no way to corroborate that.
That's fine. You believe what you. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to inform you. So we get back to the car. I drive back from the airport. We were supposed to get something to eat. I turn onto my street and realize, oh shit, we got to go get my car. I turn around. We drive to my car.
By the way, keep going. I can still hear you.
Okay. We turn around, drive to my car. We get to my car. I say to her, oh shit, we were supposed to get something to eat. She says, we'll just order something. I said, okay. She has to make adjustments now because she had to change her shoes so that she could drive, and she had to change her mirrors and shit because I was driving. So after that, what happened after that? Oh, so after that, we went back. We came back to my place. Absolutely no serious unpacking was about to happen. I literally just took out of my bags all the shit that I was going to need the very next day. Like, I went no further beyond that. And actually, still, funny enough, I got on here today late because I took my camera and my tripod to Myrtle Beach. I'm sitting here for some inside baseball behind the scenes to all the people out there. Generally, I start this stream at like 10:30. Not actually streaming, not broadcasting, but I start the situation at about 10:30. And I throw the link into the group with Tim and Eddie. And if Chrissy's coming on, I throw her the link. And we sit here and talk about some stuff for about a half hour, a little bit less. And then we hit the button to go live. Well, today, I was preparing in other ways. I was getting the graphic ready and making sure that it worked. And I was working on this one topic and getting all stuff I need for the topic and all that other good stuff. And I was working on something else that I won't talk about, but it's something that's highly anticipated, highly requested for the show. I was working on that. I didn't get to finish that. I realized, and I saw what time it was. I'm like, oh shit, it's 10:11. I need to start getting ready to go live. So I saved that, closed that now, got everything ready, and it's like 10:28. Told y'all I usually start at 10:30. I sit down, make sure all my shit good. I go and I look in front of me and there's no camera. So I'm like, oh shit. So I had to go unpack my tripod, grab the camera, put all that shit together, and then I had an issue with that.
That's some old man shit right there.
Nigga,
That's
it took forever. I ain't get on this bitch till like 10:45.
You know what? Actually, that was fortuitous for me because you see, I had another one of those nights where I didn't really sleep like that. Mm-hmm. So I saw it. It was around 19 minutes after 10. I said I need 20 minutes. It just so happens as soon as that motherfucking alarm went off,
the link came through. That's funny. That's funny. So yeah, so all that to say, yeah, absolutely no serious unpacking happened when we got in this goddamn house. So we order food, we went to sleep. We wake up the next day. We get ready for work. This nigga can't find her glasses. So now insert everything you said about them labels. Literally, verbatim.
Damn.
We looked all over the room, couldn't
Damn.
find it. Luckily she has other pairs.
Yeah.
But nigga, and she ordered some new ones, and I promise you, the day we are supposed to be doing something like a day or two before they're supposed to arrive. I promise you, we gonna find them glasses.
Yes, it's gonna happen, B. It's going to happen. This is life. This is the simulation.
I promise you, we're gonna find them goddamn
Oh
glasses.
my goodness.
All right. So moving along. Last thing for my week. Work. Coming back to work was a struggle. I hated it so much. I came back to a list of things to do. To all the people who have ever asked me to help them with something technical,
Leave me alone.
You feel like let me land.
Oh, sorry.
And you feel like I was a bit douchey to you in the process. If you feel like I was gaslighting you, you feel like you were doing a thing and you knew what you were doing, but I was saying that you were wrong and you ain't like that, I empathize with you. Y'all still wrong though, because there has not been a time. No, fuck that. No, because there has not been a time where I've expressed that someone was absolutely wrong while fixing their problem, and I was off. Not once has that happened. Why? Because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because that's why you came to ask me about this thing. But like I said, I do empathize. Because this type of thing happened to me this week.
Oh.
So our work order system is built in-house. Every day, files need to be moved around to keep the system up to date. The person who normally does it is my supervisor, who's not my supervisor. Well, she's off this past week. So I was supposed to do it. Now, she doesn't take off a lot, but she still does from time to time. And also, we are required to take 5 days straight away from the job. So
because ain't nobody trying to deal with your overworked, grumpy asses.
Facts. So if she's off for the whole week, I'll generally do it. If she's off for a day or two, I don't do it. But if she's off for the whole week, then I'll do it. It has to be done daily. I have explicit instructions, actual typed instructions. I've done it quite a few times over the years. I go to do it, I get this weird message that seems to be concerning permissions. Mind you, 99% of my professional career has been spent troubleshooting. It's not that I will just know how to fix any issue, but I'm really good at figuring out what type of issue is at hand.
That's literally what that IT shit is.
Right.
That's literally.
So, based on the symptoms, I've deduced that it's a permission issue. My supervisor, who's not my supervisor, can generally fix permission issues, and also I have the access to fix permission issues, but I haven't done it for this particular thing and not for myself. But my thing is, if I know somebody's off, I'm not about to bother you with work stuff. That's me. Right. Fuss at me when you get back. If it was that important and it didn't get done, and you were the only person that could fix it, and I failed to communicate to you, fuss at me when you get back. Right. And for that particular thing, I'll bother you when you're off. But if it's something else, I'm still not gonna bother. It's just like I feel like that's crazy. So I tell my boss, we send a message to our consultant, who is, for the purposes of the story, effectively our network administrator. I dreaded this because he has a habit of not fucking responding to us. Which is exactly
that's
what
because
happened.
y'all annoying.
Which is whatever. Which is exactly what happened. So my boss and I happened to be doing something else, and she needed him for that. So she actually called him this time. Right. When she got what she needed from him for what we were doing, she reminded him about my issue. He and I then started talking. He asked how I was logging on. I told him. He said, "That's not right." I said, "Yes, it is, because I'm logging on to the 3393. What that means is not really important. I'm logging on to the 3393. He said, "Oh, okay." He apparently tried some stuff. I don't even know if he actually tried anything, but apparently he did. He does not ask me to try it again. He then says, "Why are you logging on to the 3393?
Yeah.
I give him my truncated summary of the instructions. He says he doesn't understand why I have to log on to 3393 for that. So I go and grab.
He said he doesn't understand.
Yes. So I go and grab the actual instructions and read them to him verbatim. He stops me a couple times and makes me read a couple parts more than once. Then he says that I don't need to log into 3393 for this, and that must be where the issue is coming in. I say, no, because this is exactly what the instructions say, and this is how I've been doing this every other time that I've done this.
Right.
And it worked. It was successful. The only issue I'm having is that for some reason I don't have the permission to do this thing.
Right.
He says, oh, I'll have to dig deeper into the issue then, and gets off the phone. So my boss and I get it to work by literally, instead of me logging on, her logging on. The only change we made. But this also creates a problem because my boss doesn't really deal with the minutia of these computers.
Right.
So there are things that my supervisor is not my supervisor, and I know that my boss isn't as familiar with. Well, because this is something I only do like 10 times a year max, I can't just walk my boss through it. She needs the directions.
Right.
Well, my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, gave me the old directions for some reason. I'm not sure why. The old directions are a lot more involved than the new ones because the new ones utilize batch files that take care of a majority of the manual steps. So when my boss ran into a snag, I had to give her the new directions because she isn't familiar with this process. She wanted to manually check to see if it worked. That first time, it was easy to tell that it worked.
Right.
The next day came. And when we finished, she was like, we're going to have to do this every day, aren't we? I said, yep, it's a daily thing. She said, okay. Next day comes. I did all of the steps leading up to my boss having to log on. Then I went and got her. We start going through the steps. We get to the end, and she goes to check to see if we did it right. Well, the files that we transferred have a different name on, different time on them than the files that she sees now. So she starts the entire process over again, and we're going back and forth trying to figure out what went wrong.
Damn.
After about 5 minutes, she finds out what was wrong. Turns out, nothing went wrong. It all went how it was supposed to go. This particular server has an issue that we're both aware of, but we just didn't think about in the moment.
Right.
It has a tendency to be an hour off time-wise. Why is that? Well, our network administrator, we told him years ago, because we found out years ago. We told him that this was an issue. He's well aware, and he has not fixed it. So, I am 7 times out of 10 when I have to contact with him, I leave the situation frustrated because I can't say specifically why. But, bruh. But anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Yeah, nigga, it's. I don't know if annoying is the proper term. But anyway, dumbass of the week. So, I actually didn't have one.
That's impossible.
Wait. I actually didn't have one until I was setting up to start the show. And I was talking to somebody.
Because I know for a fact people ain't been on their best behavior.
Oh, no, nigga, it's no way. But I was talking to somebody, and so there's a person who's getting married. They're supposed to be getting married this month. Someone asked them, is everything okay between the two of them, her and the person that she's supposed to be marrying? This is the response.
Oh, shit.
Yes, for now. We've been in a really good space lately, but I have a lot of changes going on with me right now, and he wants to, I guess, see how I handle things with my changes. So it's a little invasive for me, but I know I have to adjust to someone else all in my business and allow them to. It's a lot. Now, some people that have chosen or for a reason outside of choice have not really had many relationships. Okay. So, for those of you who fit into that category, let me explain to you why this makes this person a dumbass. You are supposed to be getting married this month. The month that you're supposed to be marrying someone, you feel like it is intrusive for them to want to know how you're handling big changes to your life?
It almost feels like y'all don't understand what words mean because
Bruh!
relationship is marriage.
Nigga!
It will be all. They are your business.
They
You
are right. What are we talking about here? What are we?
That's weird, bro.
What?
That's weird. It's super weird.
Darling, you might want to reconsider.
Yeah, I don't think. And then
You're clearly not ready.
She's not ready.
Right.
Because if y'all engaged, if you don't get at this stage that the person that you're married, you're getting ready to marry, is not just going to be all up in your business. They're going to be your business.
Facts.
You are not ready for this. This is not a step that should be taken. And he need to maybe fall back a bit too.
Bruh, according to you, the only thing this nigga did was check on you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
And you're like, this is weird. A lot. What do you mean?
This is a lot.
What do you...
How is this a lot?
Okay? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, ma'am, do you not understand what you're signing up for?
Miss Man, let me tell you something. First, in her defense, there are way too many people that think like that. Bruh. There really are. Like,
that's facts.
I've had this conversation with numerous people, and they be talking to me like what they saying has some validity. Bro, sis, no. Do you not know what this entails?
Bruh.
Like, what you're saying is essentially the opposite of what this is.
Like, that's what you're having issue with is the foundation of what you're supposed to be doing.
Bro, yeah, like I don't think you understand. It's
intrinsic.
Right, like it's what? Huh? What the fuck? Like,
yo, maybe you need to reconsider or postpone or something, because
air, breathing. What the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand. Yikes.
That don't sit well with me.
And then people will ask the question. And my man, Mighty Mike Gleason. Then motherfuckers will ask the question a lot of the times about why, and especially in this country, the divorce rate is what it is.
Yeah, this is a part of it.
This is part of it.
Now here's the thing. Before finding out this information, I already had doubts about their union.
And this pretty much...
This shit?
Yeah, this shit pretty much confirmed that.
Nigga, what?
Nigga, who?
All right. Question of the week. Because I seen this in my travels, and I'm like, I'm not going to comment because I don't want to pretend that I'm an authority in this situation.
Right. Yeah,
but I am curious.
Let's do what everybody else does.
No, fuck that. Nope. I've never been one to fit in. I'm curious, and I want everybody, anybody that is listening to this, I want y'all answers too. Just y'all opinion. I'm not asking y'all to present as an authority. I'm just asking y'all opinion.
I'm about to present as an authority in a second.
I don't think you are. This is about women's bodies. Oh. I'm fairly certain you're not about to do that.
I mean,
no, nigga. So, the question is, what's the difference between showing your ass in a bathing suit and showing your ass in panties?
Venue, maybe.
Well, let me see what it started off as. Now, the panties in question, yo, Mike, they were amazing too. I ain't gonna hold you.
I was
Mike.
mad as shit, Mike.
I bet.
Mike,
Listen,
I was looking at them pictures, going, "This motherfucker." I was mad as shit.
So, yes, I'm glad you said venue because the panties in question, were shown during an official. I don't know how official this can be, but what it was a twerk competition.
Oh,
So now, given that the activity that's being done makes this particular attire potentially more appropriate,
yeah.
now what is the difference between the two?
Well, okay, so here's the thing, right? I would argue that at a twerk thingy, it really is a wash. It doesn't matter if it's panties showing or bikini bottoms. It's about the same fucking thing. Like, that shit don't matter.
That's how I feel.
Matter to me.
But the original person that posted it said, "Y'all really don't be feeling crazy when your whole ass be out."
All right, so I'm just gonna say this to dude. Is this a
No, it wasn't a guy.
Is the woman said that?
It wasn't a guy.
You don't be feeling crazy with your whole ass out when you're in the shower?
That's funny.
You know the reason why you don't?
Because it's an appropriate place to do such. Right.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Yo, y'all gonna stop this bullshit, man. Like, seriously, like, I'm not. What is y'all talking to?
Bruh, that's how I felt
like,
about it. But again, I didn't want to. Because again, it was a woman asking that question about if y'all don't feel crazy with y'all. That was a woman, so I wasn't about to.
I understand.
The dude was like, "Yo, what is the difference between this and a bathing suit? Given it's a twerking competition."
Yeah,
so
like, I just need listen.
What?
All right. So it's one thing if you were asking that while a motherfucker is on a public bus,
right,
going by a bus stop,
yeah,
and they're mooning, they got their ass pressed against the window,
Right.
mooning that's kind of crazy. You doing
Sure.
shit. You don't feel crazy. But this is a twerk contest. So bikini bottoms or panties mean zero. Like, it's appropriate for the venue.
right.
So why are you asking people that? So just say you don't like your ass out.
Sure.
You feel uncomfortable with that shit. And
Correct.
that's perfectly valid.
I mean,
I'm gonna respect you being valid with that.
But the person in question has posted pictures of herself in bathing suits on Twitter. So
Is that the proper venue? I mean, maybe to her it is. I don't know. I just feel like that's a wild ass question to be asking, or a wild ass statement to be making
it's like
about this.
super respectability politic. Like, here's the thing. I think I've said this recently. I don't think I've said it enough because I want to be clear about this. There are certain respectability politics that have merit, and they have.
Yo, I don't even call them politics.
Right.
I don't even call it politics
Right.
because some of y'all need to be shamed for some shit. Some of the shit y'all pulling. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Everything is not that though.
Everything is not politics. Right. When we say
this,
that's why words mean things.
Right.
We say respectability politics.
Right.
We're not talking about some other shit. We're not
talking about shit that you absolutely
right,
shouldn't be doing.
Right. You should be shamed for some of the shit y'all.
Right.
I look at y'all every day and be like, man, fuck out of here.
All right, let's slide into these topics.
Disastrous.
Because I ain't talked to you about this because it happened when I was on vacation.
I'm just going to first before you get started. Does anyone want to get out? That's number one. And number two, full disclosure, I have never been the biggest fan of this nigga.
Okay.
I've never really liked his style like that.
Okay.
I thought it was too.
Sure.
I don't like that shit. You know I'm saying that shit.
Absolutely.
DMX had the perfect. It was but that shit. So I'll put that out there so that you know. Just to be honest, But this has literally zero to do with like him personally. I just didn't like the style.
Right. All right. So, a battle rapper of Middle Eastern descent was engaging in his work.
His occupation.
Yeah, he was doing his job. Now, there are differing opinions on how well he was doing his job, but that's neither here nor there. He was in fact doing his job. He was doing what he was paid to do.
Yes, he was.
And I'll say what happened before I give more context.
Okay.
So, the person he was battling is also of Middle Eastern descent. And he took battler A, his name is Disaster. That's why it's misspelled. Disaster. Yeah. So the other battler took Disaster to task on his history of using the N-word. And a part of his round was, I bet you won't say it here. Because
more context. Because this is a majority black room.
Right.
Majority black people on the stage. There's
where
at least
Disaster usually battles is majority white.
Exactly. And here's the thing. At least the perception of a percentage of the people that are here watching is these street niggas and they're going to fuck you up.
Right.
So that's the perception. Go ahead.
So that was, I think, in the first round. In the third round, Disaster says the slur, sand nigga. All right. So on its own, before I give context,
right,
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, we have to talk. We have to talk about that. Yeah, we definitely have to talk about it.
That sounds absolutely terrible, especially given that 2 rounds ago, the other battler was like, "Yo, you need to not do this.
Yes,
I bet you won't do it here."
Yes,
and this motherfucker did it. Now, for context, and there were some people who say that this context doesn't matter, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to provide it.
Right.
What people are thinking he did is not what he did. Because the other rapper happened to say that, what people took from this is he's being defiant, and now he's calling us niggas. That's not what happened.
That's not what he said. How?
For context, he was telling a story about himself.
Yes, he was.
And how he was treated when he first came to the States.
And it was an ingenious way to say nigga in front of a crowd of
Absolutely. And he said they called him a sand nigga. Now,
we'll talk about that too.
Because I wouldn't even put this on the goddamn docket. But what led me to putting this on the docket is, because the main reason I wasn't going to put it on the docket is because I feel different ways about it. I feel different ways about it. I don't feel 100% either way. And generally, when we bring up topics, if we talk about dumbass of the week or we talk about our weeks or whatever, I allow for more ambiguity. Generally, when we bring up topics, I would like to have a solid, concrete,
some clarity.
Right. Yeah. So, another battle rapper, Quest McCody, made this thread. He says, it seems to me that Disaster believes shock value and his want to say something is more important than reading the room. I'm not going to police words, but I do believe he knew the response he'd get from saying nigga
I hate when people play disingenuous. I hate when people
in front of an all-black crowd, no matter the context.
Yeah, I hate when people are disingenuous.
This is something to be explored. There's a fascination with non-black individuals with the word nigga. Being called a sand nigga isn't to group you with black people. No. It's a racist person saying you're so subhuman
that we are going to compare you to. That's it, bro. That's what it is.
He said, I get the context. I get the context. He was talking about what was said to him, blah, blah, blah. There's no doubt in my mind that he knew the shock value in saying it. That's where reading the room comes to play. He put shock value over the fact that he knew it would be triggering. How can you be, quote, with us if you know what triggers us and wait until you're in front of us to do it? We don't hold hip hop higher than being black. Telling a room of black people they aren't hip hop if they don't let you finish is also triggering. This was an example of don't play in my face in real life. The crowd wasn't having it. On some real shit, thinking that being called a sand nigga equates to the black struggle throughout the history of America is ridiculous in itself and very tone deaf.
Globally.
It's not about how he used it. We aren't dumb. We know he was quoting someone. Now, to a little pushback on Quest, no, some of these niggas dumb. Some of these niggas are absolutely dumb.
Some niggas are dumb.
Didn't realize that this was happening.
Also, like, yeah, they're dumb, but the person that we don't know that really happened.
Absolutely, that's true. He said, we know he was quoting someone. You know how many times non-black people try to sneak in saying nigga by quoting someone saying nigga? I wanted to be a part of GTX. GTX is a league that the other guy runs.
Yes.
So I wanted to be a part of GTX. I even reached out to let them know I was interested. I'm not anymore. That shit was whack.
So, a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, real quick. Somebody. Oh, I love when people get checked. He said, regardless of the context of somebody else said, regardless of the context or the crowd, he's telling his story. Racism is not one-sided because people who believe eugenics look at you. Me did. I'm sorry. His punctuation is terrible. Racism is not one-sided. I mean, racism is not one-sided because people who believe eugenics look at you, me, and Diz as less than. Quest said, "You black?" The guy says, "I'm black." Quest says, "Okay, I'll just agree to disagree with you, black man."
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's so much. The thing that bothers me, not about this, not even directly about the situation.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I got to do this last one. Mm-hmm. This last exchange. Somebody else. Another black. Another black guy. Mm-hmm. You're diminishing his artistic sacrifice. Yeah, he knew it could have went left, but he also believed it could have went right. Yeah, Quest says, I think it's pretty much how everything goes. The guy says, no, it's not. He knew he was saying something that could have went crazy either way. It was a gamble. When's the last time you took a gamble in your concept? I'll wait.
I'm about to.
Quest said, isn't everything a gamble? The guy said, I asked a question and you replied with a question. Quest said, respectfully, I'm not at your service. So,
yeah. So I got to shit on niggas. Because it's really easy to dig in Diz ass. That's easy. It's an easy solution. It's an easy conversation. It's 1 + 1 is 2. The harder conversation is me talking to you niggas, because I'm really fucking tired and weary of the amount of excuses, like the amount of thing y'all do to make excuses, and you just can't ride. You are the same niggas who then say, man, black people just don't stick together. There's no unity. You are the same. The reason why we in the situation is because we don't stick together. We don't have no unity. And then the first thing your bitch ass do is go under Dick's Bond, over the hill, round the corner, get on a plane, stop on a boat, not even a boat that has motorized. You're doing this. You're rowing to find a way to excuse shit like this. You are the antithesis of the idea of black people sticking together.
Facts.
Of us having, with certain things, a certain voice. Because we know that this affects all of us. There are certain things that do not affect every single individual black people. Some things do though. We don't need to hear from you. Sorry. Go talk to your mama about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That meant the disingenuousness of this whole situation is this man saying that and then attempting to say, this is about what happened to me. This is about what they said to me, not even factoring in, because of the selfishness and the entitlement and the single-mindedness, that the very reason why the word nigga is added to sand is because of how very little regard they have for us.
Absolutely.
But you made it about you. See, they got other slurs that are specific to y'all. I know this for a fact because I've been hearing for years.
Here's the thing: when Sick was interviewed about it, Uncle Rod asked him. He says, "Has anybody ever called you a sand nigga?" Sick said, "Yes, I've also been called."
Right. Things that are specific to their particular ethnicity. There are certain slurs that are there. I've heard them for years. The thing I found very funny is about how very guarded or out of touch a lot of niggas are, because I saw people on videos in the comments of this stuff like this is the first time they ever heard that phrase, and that's how I know. I don't need to hear your opinion on it. If this is the first time you heard that phrase,
right,
that means there are certain things that you're just out of touch with, and you should actually learn about what's happening and not be so quick to defend or to throw some shit out there, because some of y'all are not educated. And I'm gonna tell you something. One of the reasons why 22 states in this country previously are running around here trying to enact laws that cause schools to ban certain books is because they want more of you.
Yeah.
They don't want more of me. They don't want more of SB. They want more of you.
Yeah.
Who will then hear them so they can play in your fucking face.
Facts.
And you won't even know.
All facts.
And I'm tired of y'all thinking y'all voice needs to be a voice that I gotta listen to all the time, or your take on some shit. And you come up here when these Quest McCody, who's clearly educated on this, who is showing that he knows about this shit.
Not only is he a quote conscious black man, he is also a battle rapper.
Facts.
He is uniquely credentialed to speak on this topic.
Facts.
And y'all niggas like, but what about his autistic? Shut the fuck. What?
I need y'all to get the fuck out my face, or I need to get the fuck out y'all face.
Sure, absolutely.
Because the shit is annoying, and there's too much shit going on, and we see way too much of the rolling back of stuff that some of you niggas are so convinced that a measly 50-something years changed everything, and that it could never go back to the way the shit was. And we literally see you out of touch niggas who don't watch the news, you don't read the papers, you don't do nothing. So convinced that, that happened 112 years ago. Nigga, 54.
Yeah.
56.
Yeah.
57. You had this small window of time.
And those things are being rolled back.
They're being rolled back. Bro, not only that, if we really want to keep it a stack, right, it wasn't even 56.
Right.
Because it's not like shit shut off when the first civil rights bill was passed. There was work that still had to be done throughout the course of that entire time. So if you really want to be honest about a lot of this shit, we were still arguing about what about our history that needed to be taught in the 80s. We were still arguing about that shit in the fucking 90s. For those of you that weren't there in the 90s or were not participating in those conversations because they had nothing to do with you, you felt like it didn't affect you, these conversations were still happening in the 90s. What the fuck you think these rappers were talking about back then?
Facts.
What the fuck you think
Oprah? What power did you think Chuck D was fighting?
Exactly. These things was because there were still issues. So it wasn't even a clean 56, 57 year period.
No.
Like, and then in certain pockets in this country, there were certain books being allowed to be taught in school. It wasn't even everywhere.
Yeah.
So now
the majority of what I know about Black history I did not learn in school.
Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. So now to see the rollback, it's all about narrative and framing.
Correct.
So the idea that they're saying that, oh yeah, we're going to take back our schools. We're going to take back our schools. The very idea that they're thinking that, and the narrative that they're trying to put in people's heads, that for too long now, they've had it their way for too long now. No. Honestly, no.
Yeah.
But they want you ignorant about it. And the thing is, you guys, y'all splash back. They're more interested in what their folks think because they know their folks are more likely to attain power in some way just because of the way the system is set up.
Yeah.
Getting you dumbass niggas to repeat that shit is just that's icing on the cake. And I'm tired of you cherry on the top ass niggas got something to say all the time and you don't know shit. You don't know shit.
All facts.
I'm tired of it, man.
All facts. Yo. All right. So for a situation that you'll be just as passionate about, but on the opposite side. Let's go, Coco. All right. So I'll just play these and then I'll do the context thing afterwards. Share screen. Boom. Boop, 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 boop.
We're playing 25 minutes this game. No, but a little bit mercy. I mean, every umpire is doing that. No, you don't, and we know it. You're smiling even, because you know it.
You went over the clock like 4 times. You gave her time violation once. How is this fair? No, you're calling the score after the point is over. It's not like we're playing 1 point. You're calling the score like 6 seconds after the point is over.
Yeah, well, she's 100% right.
You missed her like 4 times. She's never ready.
To the towel.
Oh, right.
There's a point. Point
All
penalty.
right, here we go. Let's listen up. Going in, I don't know how many points. I go 1 time to the top. 1 time on her service. When her service game, I never went to the top. She's making extremely fast.
Now, if you listen to the crowd, when give me actually let me play the other video first. I'm gonna play the other video before I start talking. Yeah, let me play this other video before I get to the context.
As a tennis player, you are a performer. You owe the people. It's the first time I'm crying in a press conference. I thought you're as a tennis player, you are a performer. You owe the people. You owe the kids that watch. You owe the people that buy tickets for a lot of money. And I'm just a bit. I mean, at the end of the day, I go home and I can look at myself and I can say I did a great job. But did I get anything from the people for that? I didn't. Maybe it's not 0. Maybe it feels like 0 right now. But it feels pretty much like a flat 0. Even less than a 0 because they treated me bad. Like they treated me like I was a cheater, like I was like trying, sneaky ways to win this match or something. They treated me like I was a bad person. But there are people who are throwing rackets, who are screaming, who are like making bad gestures toward the audience. I did not one moment in the whole match, and there was a lot of tension going on. Not one moment I did anything. I was just slow. And that's something in the rule. I get my time violation. That's fine. Yeah. No, I don't know.
All right. So
She said she was just slow when that's
Now-
literally the point too.
bruh. All right. So so let's. I'm gonna read this article for more context. Coco Gauff jokes about Laura Siegemund's pace during the 2023 U.S. Open match. Coco Gauff wasn't enthused by the methodical pace deployed by her opponent, Laura Siegemund, in the opening round of the U.S. Open. when the reporter came up to her after she won, for those who don't know, in tennis, as soon as the game is over, immediately they got a reporter on you.
That's right.
And the reporter was like, "How was that for your first win of the tournament?" Blah 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 blah. And her first word was slow. During the match, 19-year-old made her frustration clear to the umpire about how she thought Siegmund was intentionally taking her time to get into position for returns. The German was assessed a time violation in the third set, which carried a point penalty to give Goff a 5-1 lead. Following her win, Goff said she was really patient the whole match when it came to Siegmund's tactics. She was going over the time since the first set. I never said anything. I would look at the umpire and she didn't do anything. Then obviously the crowd started to notice that she was taking long, so you would hear people in the crowd yelling, "Time." The 19-year-old was clearly the fan favorite inside of Arthur Ashe Stadium, and the crowd became even more vocal as her frustration with Siegmund grew. Siegmund, for her part, told reporters after the match she was very disappointed. I just played all that. Siegmund announced that she can play slowly at times, but said that's just her general style and not an attempt to bend the rules of the game. The 35-year-old, she looks older than 35. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud. The 35-year-old made headlines during the 2020 French Open when she was assessed a time violation for her pace of play in a defeat to Petra. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it.
It's too many consonants.
Yeah, bruh. Coincidentally, the chair umpire in that match was the same from this match. So, what do we have? We have white tears. White weaponized tears. Because here's the thing. Coco was just out there doing her job.
That's all.
That's it. She was doing her job. As I understand it, I'm not an expert on tennis, so if anybody is, correct me when I say something wrong. But as I understand it, and in the little bit of research that I did for this topic, when it is your serve, it is the other person's responsibility to be ready.
Yep.
When you are ready. Now, that's within reason. The rule is written vaguely because slow is relative, right? Of course, absolutely. Slow is relative. However, there are numbers that are given.
I was about to say it doesn't have to be relative if there are actual numbers there.
Yeah, there are numbers that are given. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but there are numbers that are given. There's a certain amount of time that you have after the point is called to be ready for the serve.
Right.
And then after that point in time, when your opponent is serving, you are supposed to be ready. Right. Clearly, that's not what happened here. There was a time, there's another video I didn't play early in the match where, what's her name? Laura, where Laura went and sat down. And Coco's like, she's not supposed to sit down. She does not get to sit down. And I don't believe the umpire did anything about it.
So
when it was said out loud, Laura stood up.
Oh yeah, because she was dead.
Of course,
bro. This is in my opinion, as someone who's also not an expert in tennis but have watched quite a few tennis matches. This is a momentum killer.
Absolutely.
This is a way to kill the momentum if shit ain't going right. You know what I'm saying? Your way.
As unfair as it might be, I'm younger than you, so I probably have more energy than you.
Yep.
I'm going to use that to my advantage.
Damn
within
right.
the rules.
And also, it's not that even with the unfair thing, we can make an argument that nature is what nature is until they make a rule saying that we have to be the same age.
Right.
She ain't do nothing wrong. And like McKenna said, it's not like the crowd was being rude to her. If there's a rule about time that you can take the serve, then it's something you have to follow. They were trying to be fair to her opponent in the game, and at the end of the day, that's what it is. So you getting up there with the trying to that's like SPJ said, trying to weaponize those tears to get the public perception on your side. Oh, look at this mean dark chocolate girl over here trying to be mean to me, and she got the whole crowd. No, you're out of pocket. You were supposed to be up there and available to receive that serve.
Listen to these words. these buzzwords. I'm a fighter. I never did anything against the audience. I stayed calm. I never not even made a gesture against the audience. They had no respect for me. They had no respect for the way I played. They have no respect for the player that I am. They have no respect for tennis. They have no respect for good tennis. This is something that I have to say really hurts, really bad.
You know, it's funny because I double dribble. It's just what I do. Like, I don't, it's how I play my game. Nigga. Ooh, boy,
and then here's the thing. Dog whistle.
Yeah.
Potentially. Because when you hear about somebody complaining about throwing rackets and blah, blah, there are two names that come to mind. One is McElroy. Okay, cool. Fine, I get that. But the other one is Serena Williams.
Yes, it is. It is.
Even if that wasn't on purpose, you should read the room.
Yeah.
You should read the room.
Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Bruh, Arthur Ashe Stadium. You should read the room. You're playing against an African American female prodigy at tennis, and you bring up throwing rackets and throwing temper tantrums and blah blah blah.
The game took place in the Arthur Ashe studio.
Bruh, like what are we talking about here?
Well, you don't have.
There's no way you aren't aware of the history.
You don't have to read the room if you're not held accountable. If you feel like you would never be held accountable for it. And again, the crowd, as far as I'm concerned, to the crowd's credit, they just wanted you to play the game the way everybody else is playing the game. That's it. That's it. And especially if Coco was being very patient and all of that, she didn't have to be. That she literally could have been
for the first
doing John McEnroe out that motherfucker.
Right. For the first 2 sets, she said nothing.
You'll break. Yo, it's everybody knows that has ever played any sport. Momentum is a motherfucker. What was one of the little phrases they used to say? Mr. Momentum has left the building the moment the motherfucker starts cooling down, right? Like momentum means something. So obviously, if we're in the midst of this competitive athletic endeavor, and I've played my fair share of sports, I know what that's like. Come on, let's go, let's get it, because we know the momentum is something.
Here's the thing. McKenna says, tennis matches, especially when you're talking big pro games with multiple games on the same court, can go for a long time.
Right.
Both for the players' sake, so they're not unnecessarily tired out, especially if they have more than one match, and for the audience, so they don't have to watch someone serve for 10 minutes every time. Rules like that are for both players' sake. It's just that simple. Like, nobody wants you to turn this into a baseball game.
No, listen, facts. Listen,
like,
the reality of the situation is you look crazy using your whole face to have tears streaming down it, talking about how I break the rules. That's just how I play. How come y'all can't respect the fact that my particular style breaks the rules? You look crazy saying shit like that.
Facts.
And what's worse, I don't know what's worse. You saying that, or the fact that you obviously have an expectation that there are people that's gonna roll with that shit.
Absolutely.
That's crazy, man.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I love
nigga, I carry. More. That's just how I dribble.
I loved nothing more because when I happened to be on TikTok as it was happening, so I was getting pieces of the story as it went along.
Right.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. If I'm not mistaken, from what I understood, when that first video came out, I didn't show it to y'all in order necessarily. It was just I found a compilation and it was easier to show the compilation. Right. When Coco had finally first complained, I believe she was losing at that point. So for her to have been losing with the other person cheating, and then for her to magnificently come back and spank that ass.
Yeah, it's a Cinderella story. No, I just can't believe this. She actually sat there with her whole face,
bruh,
and talked about how this particular style, how she plays, which clearly breaks the rules, that's already established there that everybody else has to fucking follow. But we're supposed to be cool with that because it's just how I play. Man, if you don't get that fucking subjective ass bullshit the fuck about, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that half baked shit. It's the rules, bro. It's the rule. I can't believe. I just tag people with the ball after they hit the base because I'm a little slow. And y'all can't respect that. Y'all sitting there gonna respect.
Y'all not gonna give me my out?
Y'all gonna give me my out? Get out of here. Listen, I just hit the ball after the third swing. That's just the third miss. I usually hit after that. Like, y'all ain't gonna give me the chance to hit the ball?
When it's your serve, if you want to take your whole 25 seconds or whatever the case may be, fine. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. You want to take your whole 25 seconds? Cool.
Yeah.
Because that's within your right.
Yeah.
But when it's the
What
other
up, Paul?
person's time to serve, Palm. When it's the other person's time to serve, what up, Discord?
Well,
Get on the good foot. Like, what the fuck we talking about?
Nigga, get on the fucking good foot.
Bruh.
What are you doing?
Like that last clip for when she actually, when Laura complained, you were standing in position.
Jeez.
Coco served, the ball hit the ground, and you throw your hands up. And then walk over to the umpire.
And, yo, this is the other thing. Not only were you breaking the rules, but then you were over there snitching and telling about how some shit wasn't right after you was breaking the rules.
You were wrong. You were wrong in the scenario.
The amount of cheek it took for you to go and do that and didn't have the look on your face while you was doing it. You know, you violating me, right? Yo!
Bruh, like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
I'd have jumped off that thing so quick and gave her a fucking flying body press.
And my favorite part. my favorite part was what I said already. Coco coming back and whipping that ass. My second favorite part about that was the announcer. Because when Coco made her point, the announcer was like, well, she's right.
Yeah.
She's 100%
the announcer,
right.
Yeah, the announcer was in there like, oh, she's right. She's 100%
Yeah.
right.
I'm like, oh, yes. Because there's another clip of it where the other announcer was pushing back.
Trying to.
And he was like, no.
It's not the rules.
That's not how this goes. The rules are the rules. There are some people that might say that Coco plays at medium. Coco says she plays at medium speed. There are some people that might say that Coco plays a little more than medium speed. But again, if it's within the rules, it's within the rules.
See,
I'm taking every advantage I get. This is a competitive. We are competing. We're competing. There are rules set aside to determine how the competition between us can go.
Yeah.
Within those rules, I'm taking every single advantage that I have. Yeah. I'm going to utilize.
I'm going to use that.
Fuck you talking about?
Because I'm trying to win, and I'm not trying to cheat to win. I'm trying to win within the established rules.
Right.
So if there's ways for me to win within the established rules that you didn't think of, that they didn't think of, that could be an advantage on my behalf because of how my particular gameplay style. My gameplay style is within the rules. Right. Your gameplay style, however, is not.
It's not.
It's just not.
You're the wrong one.
You're the one that's wilding. And after the fact, you thinking that you can get on a press conference.
I don't like how they treated me. It's clear they don't respect me. They don't respect tennis. They don't respect good tennis.
Why are they even here? You wasn't even playing good tennis if you wasn't following the rules. What are we talking about? What's going on? Is it the culture? What's happening? What's happening?
Bruh. When I saw that shit, I was like, oh.
Man, ain't nobody letting you do that shit. Fuck out of here. Ain't nobody letting you. No. Win the same way everybody else has to win. You're not doing that entitled bullshit here. That's not happening. It's not happening. And you know what? People that love tennis, people that are passionately involved in the sport, either as players or as spectators, they should be angry. They should be offended.
Absolutely.
Like, get the fuck out of here. You're not doing that to our sport.
Facts.
And just a side note, on the other side of that, that's how a lot of us feel in the hip hop. I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let it sit.
On that note, we're gonna go. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for M.I. the asshole. All right, so we got 3 of them. We gonna go through these. All right, am I the asshole for taking my parents' assignment too literally and being too honest? My parents called for a family meeting last Sunday and said they were realizing that we didn't have the happy little tight-knit family they had expected to have. They expressed that we had all been closer when we were little kids. For context, I'm a 16-year-old male. My brother is 14. My other brother is 12. But now it felt like we never spent time as brothers, especially me and, one brother, 14-year-old is James. The 12-year-old is Easton. Easton. It feels like we never spent time as brothers, especially me and James, and that sharing a room, they would have expected more from us. My parents said they wanted us to all be totally open and honest about how we felt and to express if we had any issues with the family to get out of the way. They said they weren't going to take a turn until after the 3 of us spoke first, and we couldn't leave until we opened up and said everything. I told them I felt like they had somewhat unrealistic goals, that they ignored some stuff that had been mentioned to them in the past that would have made a lack of closeness less of a surprise, and that it was weird for them to pretend they had no idea of anything going on. I admitted that I hate sharing a room with James, that personality-wise he and I clash. Shut up. And that he relies too much on being the younger brother and getting his own way, which annoys me. I said I told him this before. He will set up these sleepover nights for him and me on the floor, and he'll expect me to play football outside with him until it's close to midnight, and then go in and watch movies that bore me to tears, and sleep in our sleeping bags instead of on our beds. And I said he started insisting we do things he enjoys when we were like 8 and 10, and ever since that point, hanging out with him has not been fun for me. It has not made me feel closer to him. I admitted that I would rather share with Easton. I also said I had brought this stuff to my parents' attention before, and even complained when he was messing up my side of the room and left me to clean it up, which my parents expected me to do instead of him. I also mentioned
my wife told me about her and her buddy, right?
I also mentioned that I hate hanging out with his friends who I have nothing in common with. I told my parents they overlook him being mean to Easton, that it might be due to jealousy and resentment that I'm closer to Easton, or it might be due to Easton being the youngest. But they would never let me say to him what he can say to Easton. I also said they treat us like we're little kids. They will tell us to go hang with much younger kids and do their activities at family houses, and they'll tell us no video games until we play outside. And that even after 16 years of knowing me, they still can't accept that I don't like sports and it's not my idea of fun to kick a ball or run around, and it never has been. He was upset about the stuff I said about him, especially about not wanting to hang out with him and his friends. My parents were furious with me and said I had no right to say all of that. I said I was doing what they asked me, and they said that that wasn't what they asked for.
So y'all
First of all,
that
you're
song?
16.
I was about to say, but just to the parents, well, really quickly. You remember that song, "Cats in the Cradle and Sibs"? This is your future. That is a future. You are pushing that boy the fuck away from you.
Yes, you are.
By not allowing him to express himself, by constantly saddling him with these younger children, by feeding into the younger brother's very rude and obviously not raised correct idea that they should only be doing things that he's interested in. You're ignoring the fact that the 16-year-old, what they actually are into and what they like. What did I tell you about my mom, man? I love my mother, man. My mother never did no dumb shit like that.
Right.
My mom just looked at, oh, you into this? She like, that's all right, cool. And that was it. It was never any force applied to get me to do certain things that I didn't want to do, as far as activities and being forced to be around a bunch of little ass motherfucking kids. Like, nah. And I had Arrested Development for a long ass time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she still didn't do that shit.
Right. Like, nah, like, sir, you're 16. I understand. Here's my problem. I understand how his impulse control works. Apparently better than his parents.
Right. Right.
You can't ask me an open-ended question like that
Facts.
and not expect me to go hard.
Telling that man, he ain't had the right to. What the fuck are you even
asked
talking
the question.
about? You asked him.
Why are y'all not as close as y'all used to be? I don't like this nigga. Right?
You asked,
like, y'all,
answered.
Bruh, like what I don't understand. Like, if you're going to, you can't ask somebody a question and then tell them, oh, but that's not really.
That's not the answer I wanted. It's
Yeah,
like Mike just said. No, you did ask for this. You just didn't expect this response. That's what it was. He told you the fucking truth, and y'all need to live with it. And also, I don't care how it made you feel. Your responsibility as parents is to examine what the fuck your kid just said to you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's a decision that needs to be made. And all you're going to do is push this boy away from this. All you're going to do, he's 16. It's only a couple of more years before he can legally just get the fuck away from you.
Yeah.
And if he's in a position to be able to do so, or put some, that motherfucker can go join the military.
He out here.
He out.
Yeah.
He out.
Here.
He
All right,
out.
moving on. Am I the asshole for looking out for my new coworker and telling her that her food might be upsetting to others?
Wow, she cooking chitlins?
I, 32, male, white, am potentially in trouble at work, but I don't really think I deserve it. That is a red flag immediately.
It is.
I'm sorry. I
is.
can't help it. That is 100%.
Why you? Yeah, something about that is. Yeah,
like, sir, what are you
implying?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Freedom of speech. I want to say what I want.
Bruh,
what do you want to say?
Like. Ahead of time, that's what it sounds like. Anyway, my coworker, Anna. Yeah, bruh. I'm only the second sentence in, and this sounds terrible. My coworker, Anna, 23-ish, female Asian.
Here we go. Here we go.
Is new at our office, and she brings her own lunch on days we don't have a food truck. On Thursday, she brought in a homemade stir fry and used our shared microwave in the break room to do it. I was in the room when she took it out of the microwave, and it smelled heavenly. I asked her about the recipe, and she told me it was just a bunch of ingredients and spices thrown together as to not waste any veggies that might go bad soon. When I was telling her how good it smelled, I also mentioned that some other people at the office might think it would be too smelly or ethnic.
Yeah.
As in racist people tend to look down on ethnic things. I have read those kind of stories on here about microaggressions when it comes to people of color and the food they bring in. And
it's like you're engaging in one.
And I wanted to warn her that she might not want to bring it in anymore so it doesn't happen to her. I emphasized that it smelled good to me personally, though. I guess a couple of the other coworkers in the room overheard our conversation because after Anna left the room, some of them sort of quietly told me how it was inappropriate for me to have said that. I told them it's true. That ethnic food gets ridiculed for smelling too strong and that I disagreed with that sentiment. But I also think she would face less harassment if she didn't bring in that food anymore.
Her fault.
One of my other coworkers then said that I was the only one harassing. That's what was going through my head, I promise you.
Mine too.
One of my coworkers said I was the only one harassing her.
Yo, you know what else I was thinking? You know what else I was thinking?
Mm.
They mad as shit because you tried to put them out there like you tried to throw them under the bus like it's them when it's you.
One of my other coworkers said that I was the only one harassing her and making insinuations that her food is problematic. But plus the fact that she hasn't even been bringing in her own food that often since she just started last week. So there couldn't have been any opportunity to have had this hypothetical harassment happen to her. I just wanted people, yes, even the assholes at the office, to make her feel welcome. I left work that day not thinking anything of it until the following morning where I hear from a different coworker that Anna talked to our HR department about the conversation and how she was hurt. I'm a bit frustrated as to why she didn't talk to me about it first, since it was just a misunderstanding that I'm looking out for her. I'm looking out for her. What do you mean? I did notice that today she was trying to dodge me, which is unusual and a bit heartbreaking. I just want to work things out. I wanted to be a friend to her and help her out since this is one of her first jobs out of undergrad, but this has been blown out of proportion. Now my coworkers think I'm racist, but I really try my best to be an ally, and that is where we come full circle. I have had a run of talking about something on this goddamn show.
Yo, I hate this nigga. Let me tell you something. First of all, I don't even hate him as much as I hate these people for giving him this. They gave him this. And now we got to hear it.
And next week or two, this shit happens. And this is, remember when I was on here talking about allyship and what that really means. And how I do not identify and do not want to be referred to as an ally because I see, to paraphrase, what you niggas cheer for. This is the exact reason. Because here's the thing. Though I don't necessarily believe them 100%, it is possible. The eventuality exists that this was above board and they meant everything they said.
Yeah.
It is absolutely possible. However, this is not how you handle this type of situation. I'm sorry. Let me finish reading. I'm sorry. I didn't even finish reading. I didn't even finish reading it. My bad. I'm sorry. Now my coworkers think I'm racist, but I really try my best to be an ally. But then again, what do I know? Yo, that's the other part. You don't know shit. That's the point. That is to my point that I made a couple weeks ago. I don't know everything. I am not going to go over. I have no intention or desire to know everything about every single subgroup of people.
You running around this motherfucker calling yourself an ally, then the next thing to come out of your goddamn mouth is, I don't know. All right, yo.
Bro.
You ain't even put in the work. You running around here talking about you.
What?
All right, fuck out of here, nigga.
So, am I the asshole for telling her that her food might be a bit too much for other potentially racist people in the office?
Yo, this motherfucker still not taking no responsibility for his shit.
Yo,
he's still no responsibility for your bullshit here. He way over here and shit. Fuck out of here.
Yo, what? All right, this first comment. You're the asshole. You are the microaggressor. Somebody commented under that. OP. I've read some stuff about microaggressions. Also, OP. Some unnamed people might think your food is too ethnic and smelly.
Also, could you open your eyes wider? Yo, what the fuck?
Bro, right.
Yo, this shit is, yo, like his mind is breaking.
Yo.
What the fuck, man?
This is exactly a perfect example of what the fuck I was talking about a couple weeks ago about this ally shit. I understand how words work, and I understand how colloquialisms work, and I understand how connotation works. I do. But I'm more literal.
You also understand how people work.
Yes, I am more literal than that. I see so many examples and have seen so many examples, including this one, of people who claim to be allies, and it's possible that they're being upfront. It's possible that they're being genuine, but they still manage to fuck up royally.
Right here. If he was an ally, why wasn't this conversation more of a, here's some racist people in the office. If they start doing microaggressions, it's not you. They're the assholes.
Boom.
Like, what the
fuck? Hey, listen. You're new around here. I know this is your first job out of undergrad. If you have any issues with anybody around here, let me know.
Holla at me. I got you.
No. It's the, oh my God, that smells so delicious. Listen.
They might think it stinks. Listen, they might think it stinks. So here's the idea. Look, stay low, stay under the radar. What? They're coming. Go. What the?
Yo, somebody said it's like mansplaining, but he made it racist.
It's white man splaining.
Bruh!
Yo, what is he doing?
Another comment. You're the asshole. Your coworker is a grown woman who's been Asian her entire life.
Whole
you
life.
genuinely think she's unaware that racism exists? All you did was put her on edge around coworkers who may not even be racist.
I was just
Congratulations,
thinking that, bro.
You're the one who created the microaggression.
Yo, the reason these guys, these coworkers came up to him after she left, that's why. Like, yo, what the?
Yeah.
Who the fuck you talking
They called
to?
him. They called him on his. They checked him effectively.
Right.
They called him on his shit. Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you put that out there?
Why you trying to tell her we fucked up?
Bruh.
What?
Like, what the fuck? I universally, I'm pretty sure I don't see any not the asshole. Yeah, no. Oh, hold up. Here's a quote example. I think your outfit is cute, but some other people might think it's slutty. You might want to dress more modestly so you don't encourage sexual
What
harassment.
the fuck is wrong with this motherfucker, yo?
Nigga, like, what?
Yo,
Somebody said, okay, so Anna is Asian, and she brought a stir fry, a dish that is so westernized it has its own English name as opposed to sushi or pad thai. So you felt the need to let her know that potential racists might target her food based on race. Would you have done the same for a white person eating a stir fry at work? Anna is an Asian, and you treated her differently because of her race. That's racism. You were on the lookout for her, protecting her against a situation that didn't arise. Ever heard of white savior complex? Instead of thinking if the racists arise, I will tell them off, you thought she should erase herself so the racists get no ammunition.
Exactly.
That's not how you help people from a minority group. You don't ask them to code switch so the sensitivities of the bigoted can be protected.
Exactly.
Next, the hell is ethnic, not white? Next, why do you say that she was hurt with quote marks? Who are you to decide that her feelings are not valid?
Yeah, this is crazy.
If someone approached you to tell you other people might maybe think you're a potential mass shooter, or you can't dance, or the spiciest condiment you can handle is mayo, or you might start mansplaining everything, but they're being racist and or sexist, I for one think you're swell. Unprompted, wouldn't you feel at least a little bit annoyed with their unneeded intervention? You're the asshole. Go apologize.
And when he, by the way, when they say telling you to go apologize, they don't mean just specifically to that woman.
No.
For the next 5 weeks,
Bruh.
every Asian person you
Every
walk up
single.
to, you should just apologize.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Matter of fact, walk through Chinatown and just apologize.
Go on an apology tour.
Apologize.
Thanks.
Motherfuckers.
Last one. Am I the asshole for telling my family if they really want an honor, they should do something like they should do something life-saving for my wife, kids, and I. Okay. My wife, Mia, and I have 3 children, and we're expecting our 4th. 2 of our 3 kids are not named after others. We just really loved their names. Our oldest, however, she's named Taylor, after the nurse who delivered her and saved her and my wife's lives. Nurse Taylor did something I can never repay him for, and without him, they wouldn't be here today. It seemed fitting to honor him. My family assumed that naming Taylor after someone would mean we would do the same with our other kids, but we had never planned on using honor names. Special circumstances and a very special man are why we did it with our oldest. My parents and siblings, since learning of this pregnancy and knowing it's our last, have dropped comments about honor names and how special and beautiful it would be for the youngest to hold a name that honors someone in
This is some douchey shit right here.
We always told them we would not be giving our youngest an honor name, and I told them to let the topic go. Mia got a lot of comments behind my back because they were willing to press harder on her than me. They used a few guilt cards, which I do not appreciate. After my wife was left a lengthy voicemail about the importance of honoring those closest to us and making Taylor feel less alone in being the one named after someone, I had grown sick and tired of my family. So I stopped by my parents' house and asked my siblings to come and told them they want the youngest to be given an honor name. Fine. Then they better get ready to go above and beyond and save one of our lives because that's the level they need to meet. I said if they did not or could not do that, to shut up about it and accept the fact that our child will get a name that we want to name them. My family called me a rude ass and said I was behaving like a petty child, throwing that in their faces. Am I the asshole?
No.
Well, obviously.
No. And though, see, what you're not going to do. This child that I'm going to be responsible for, here's the other thing. Don't say 8 for 18 years.
Bro.
That's not even reality.
Right.
This child I'm going to be responsible. I was born in this world. I'm going to be responsible for. Stop coming in my face asking me about what I'm going to name him and suggesting that fuck out of here. We're going to name the kid.
Wait, here's the thing. Hold on. Roll it back, Hammer. You can suggest.
No.
You can suggest.
Not with me.
But at the point that I tell you no,
that's
a complete sentence.
You just want this. Yo, you know how crazy it is? You just want this. You want some honor name. First of all, this is the first time I've even heard that phrase that way. But
it is the first time I've heard it phrased that way.
For what? What did you do to get this honor? You existed? Maybe you don't get the fuck out of my face. This was a special circumstance. This man, Taylor, first name Landon, saved our kids' lives. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
And of course, this is an extraordinary circumstance.
And it was the first child.
So quite naturally,
this person is
like
in a way responsible for us becoming parents.
Facts. Because my kid would have died if not for this person. Therefore, we're going to honor this person. You can't give him no money. You can't give him no money. But guess what? The name, Taylor, yeah, right there. What did you? And honestly, it's rude and selfish of your ass to come up and keep bugging them about that shit. Fuck out of here. Better sit your ass down. Have another kid. Name whatever the fuck you want. Adopt a baby. They need help. You get them the name you want to give them. Fuck out of my face. You're not going to use. No, hell no. Yo, that shit, that's enough to get you not invited to the baby shower and all that shit. Yo, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck all that. Like, who the fuck do you... Listen. An annoying insistence is one thing.
Right.
Y'all were going above and beyond.
They were. So now, if I name them, it'll be an anti-name of yours because you went in the direction. You went in the direction. If there's a name,
said absolutely not the asshole. It's your child. You name them however you want. I have an honor name, as I was named after the person who introduced my parents. The family thought to have my name changed after my birth, but my parents stood firm. Like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with, again, I've never heard it phrased this way, but honor names. There's nothing wrong with that. But it has to be the parents' decision. And it's
context is everything.
Right.
The whole, you should do it because we asked you to do it. What honor is that? You better get the fuck out of my face. Fuck out of my face with that shit.
Is it real? All right, prime example. Aaron's, he got so many kids.
Hey, Aaron, you heard that?
Yo, it's just what it is. Aaron's second or third son's middle name is James. You think I asked him for that?
No, of course you did.
No, my big cuz DJ that be on here, his daughter's initials are SPJ. You think I asked him for that?
No, you didn't.
Right, because that's not how the fuck that's supposed to work.
Right.
The only exception that I will allow for, and I still think you can only suggest,
right,
is for juniors and such like that. Okay, sure. If your father, you want to ask if the baby, okay, fine,
to be a third,
but still,
it's just
once,
a suggestion.
Once they say no,
drop it.
It's over.
Drop it because you look like an extreme asshole.
Facts.
Just drop it.
Facts. Yeah, bro. I just don't.
Assholes.
Not the asshole. They're the ones behaving like petty children and projecting feelings of loneliness onto Taylor as being ridiculous. That's the other thing. Oh, and so Taylor won't feel so weird about being named after some. Why would she feel weird?
Why? Y'all just reaching for shit, man. Y'all just reaching.
Bruh,
Dog
like,
Brandon level, Joe Ever. Yo, that
bruh.
shit is so stupid, yo.
Like, not the asshole. Name your child whatever you want to. I really don't understand why people care so much about another kid's name when it really doesn't have anything to do with them. If they really want to honor someone, they can do it with their own kids. No one's stopping them. Not gonna lie, people should learn to stop meddling in others' business.
And then also, it's more important that you have a good relationship with this kid than if you learn about what the kid's name is.
Somebody said I'd be petty as hell and pick a name from your wife's family. Yo.
What I say about the auntie,
This is me.
the auntie honor, yo. The auntie honor.
This is me. This
The
is
auntie
me.
honor. Mm-hmm. The auntie honor.
What? Oh, all right. Hey, listen. Give me one of your people's names, like any of them. any of them you like, because still we have to make the decision together. So,
Right.
Yeah. Any of them you like. Okay. Y'all. All right. Cool.
We're going with that one.
Yeah.
Going with that one.
Like, fuck you, me.
I told you, I'm doing the anti honor shit.
Bruh.
The dishonor. I'm going for the dishonor. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Got in my face.
Yo said, not the asshole. How and why you name your kids is up to you both. Just to mess with them, I would check out the family trees for name inspiration, especially from a random great something that I actually just like the name. I mean,
The dishonor, yo. I'm going for the dishonor name. That's it.
yeah.
That's it. Fuck out of here.
Not the asshole. My middle name is for my mom's OB. She literally saved our lives multiple times throughout the pregnancy. It was almost my first name, but then I was born and my parents said, I don't know who she is, but she's not a blank. I'm so proud to say I'm named for my mom's OB. She was so awesome. Seriously, I have looked her up over the years, and it appears that I was one of the last civilian births that she attended before she entered the Army as a second lieutenant. She rose through the ranks and became a full-bird colonel.
That's some shit.
I said colonel, and had been in charge of women's health in Germany for many years. But I was like, that's an honor name story.
Yeah.
That is an honor name story.
Yeah.
Not, hey, we exist. Name your child after us.
We would like you to honor us by naming your
Right. Like, the fuck?
What did you do?
We exist. Name your child after us. No?
And what do you get out of it?
Bruh. Well, all right, I ain't gonna hold you. It's a, what's the word?
Yeah, but hold up.
It's a slight flex when I
you
say
earned it.
Facts.
In
No,
other words,
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what did they get out of it by doing it that way? Like,
that's
you know
true. That's true.
But
I ain't gonna hold you. It's a slight flex. I ain't gonna hold you.
You so
I got two people named after me. Like, come on now.
Man,
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Whatever. Let me see. Okay, last comment. Not the asshole. However, someone demanding to be honored is really an entitled asshole move. I was going to honor one of my sisters by giving my firstborn my sister's middle name. When I told her the name I wanted to give my child in honor of her, she flipped out negatively. So my petty ass went ahead and named my child a name I absolutely love while honoring a different family member my sister absolutely resents. Make sure you pick a name you love that will age well. Congratulations on your newest miracle. The petty! The petty will always win.
I'm here for the petty. I'm here for the petty, bro.
Nigga.
I'm here for that.
But yeah, I don't. That's wild.
Y'all motherfuckers have totally pissed me off and lost more points amazingly in my eyes today with that shit.
I don't understand. I can't imagine myself being upset about that type of thing.
Humans are gonna human, man. We want to thank all of you once again for joining us on another rousing episode of Black Culture Geeks.
Yep.
Starring SBJ and Tombstone's Dead Man.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, do not forget to go and check out Chrissy's podcast, Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Yeah.
Make sure you go and check out Cyrus's Metas and Mutants. We got a show we're doing in a little while, probably in another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then it won't probably, I don't know when he's going to make it air, but it's going to be a lot of us on there. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of us on there. And also, don't forget to check out my man Jaded Nerd's channel.
Absolutely.
And remember that there's always music. There's always music.
Always.
So
I'm about to start working on some more this week.
New music as well as old music.
Mm-hmm.
Add it to your playlist. Give it some spins. Really appreciate that shit.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate all the support. If you have not, go and subscribe to the Majestic Comics channel.
Yep.
Also, those of you who have supported the Kickstarter, this is the month that we have planned to start sending some stuff out. We're currently waiting for the books to come back. The metal books will take longer because there's more to doing that shit than the regular printed books. But be on the lookout for the surveys, because on those surveys, that's where you'll get the information on how to go get the books. Have the books sent to you, right? It'll be done off of our website. So anyway, for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.